playing a game.
Beep boop. Hi friends, welcome in. It is a full Xanax day. So, diamond paintings and YouTube. Yay! Hi friends, welcome in. If you're new and we've not met, I'm Jaded Neko. I'm a variety streamer. And I just do whatever the hell I feel like over here. Now today I feel like watching YouTube and doing diamond painting because it is absolutely mindless. Just mindless. Fuck a brain moment, okay? Thank you. That's what's up. Alright. Let's get to it. Oh, wait. Before Silver comes in and yells at me, let me do the thing. Intro song! Alright. Hi, KK! So, if anybody sees one of my mods, I played the intro song. They know you can't touch my boobies. I believe we watched this, Charlotte.
These are some
But I don't
parents
remember.
that deserve to get shamed.
So we're
Welcome
gonna
back
watch it
to
again.
The devil, where we decide if you're the devil
Or an angel.
Well, I
Remember,
do
we're playing a
diamond
game
painting.
here. I have horns on, which may mean that I might play the devil's advocate. It does not mean that those opinions are my opinion. And similarly, Mike is playing the angel, which means he might try and see the good in people.
That's what I do.
My baby mama is being
Oh, yeah.
unreasonable
Definitely.
about the name of our child. How
Definitely saw this one. Definitely. Definitely. This is the one.
Nutcracker Magical Christmas Ballet returns to Los Angeles. The holidays are about family, tradition, and memory.
My girlfriend wants to take her ex-husband to her work Christmas party. Am I the a-hole?
Oh, my new emotes that got
Hey
through
everybody,
are
welcome back.
unhinged.
I've 35 men.
Hi,
been
babies.
with my girlfriend, 44 female, for 9 months. When we met, she was open about the fact that she had fully separated from her ex, and they would be starting official divorce proceedings. Okay. Those started around 1 month ago, and it's basically in the early stages. Yesterday, we were talking about work Christmas parties, and she told me her workplace are currently running a poll where the options were go alone, go with your partner, or say you're not going. When I asked what she was thinking of doing, she said she needed to talk to her ex-husband about it because she was going to take him if that option won, because she didn't want to go and sit alone while everyone else was there with their spouses. Why wouldn't she take OP? I don't see anything in there about taking your ex to the corporate function.
Oh god, if I don't take my ex, I'm gonna go alone.
Boyfriend, am I a joke to you? Obviously, I reacted pretty badly to
Y'all, if you have not checked out the emotes that made it through, I got some good ones in there. I got the balloon animal I can't believe ever made it through, but it did. Balloon animal love made it through. Hey. Oh, it did. An ass slap, the slapping peach. Oh, yeah. I got a whole bunch of them. I wonder if I put my swiper through again, if it would go. I've got a whole bunch of other ones too that I haven't bothered trying to put through yet. I know I should. I know I should. I need to move the goal up too to 25. We hit 2,400 followers this week. Oh. So I need to bump us up to 25 now. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that many people are watching me be weird. You all are weird. I am the judging. Perverts.
this. She said she couldn't bring me because nobody there knew about me / us. You've been with her for 9 months. I mean, this might be an opportunity for them to get to know you. I'm seeing some red flags, bestie. She started her job about 3 months before we met, and everyone there was basically under the impression she was still married, as that's how things had been when she joined. She didn't like lots of people knowing her business, separating, divorce, etc., so she just went along with it. She said that bringing me would therefore be weird, and she temporarily wanted everything to still look normal by bringing him.
Go by yourself.
So she has lied. Well, not necessarily lied. Like,
Oh,
maybe,
bitch,
lie
you
of
know, you
omission,
lied.
and
No,
now she wants to
you
continue
lied.
lying. Hate to say it, but like, this is her reality. She's
You
getting divorced.
liar.
I think. It's time to face the music. I question why she would need to go and pretend to essentially strangers. She could easily just go on her own instead, and she told me I didn't understand how difficult it was for her. She told me I was making it all about me by asking to be prioritized. In my eyes, it was just consideration. She's basically pretending like you don't exist.
Yo,
That
I
I was
got
acting
secret
irrational and being
girlfriend,
jealous, and that she
bye-bye.
didn't have to run any of her decisions by me. She then started crying, hung up on me, and texted me to say she wanted space for a few hours. But she hasn't been in touch since, and that was 24 hours ago. I don't like where this is going. I'm seeing some red flags. I haven't reached out because I feel I haven't done anything wrong. No, you haven't. I fail to understand why you seem to be in trouble now when she's the one that has done quite a few things wrong. Dare I say she is playing the victim. We didn't have a conversation about it. She just told me. So to me, it feels a little disrespectful to me and our relationship. I know we've not been together long either, so maybe I have no right to be involved in her decisions, but I would expect to at least have a convo about that because that decision does directly affect us. You've been together for 9 months. That's not like a short amount of time. Like if you were together for maybe like under 3 months, I would kind of understand the apprehensiveness about like taking you to like functions or taking you to like a wedding. You know, just like you don't want things to move too fast, but it's been almost a year. Some people get married in like 9 months to a year. I also don't understand why she needs to go and pretend to people she doesn't really know and why she wouldn't have just been able to take that opportunity to explain. But I don't know if I'm being selfish like she said. There is a stigma that comes with getting divorced. There really is, unfortunately. But now I feel like if you're really judgmental about that, it's kind of like get with the times, you know? Get with it. It's almost 2026 here. Let's make it like a funny, like,
Oh yeah, my first husband. Oh, my fourth husband is like.
let's lighten up a little bit. It happens. There is still a stigma, but like, it is what it is. She's getting divorced. Am I the a-hole? I've never been married, so I don't know if I've just majorly downplayed everything and been inconsiderate. Honestly, appreciate everyone's advice and opinions. No, I feel like you are perfectly justified in how you feel. She is kind of playing the victim here, and unfortunately, she needs to get over it.
Scribe is how you stop explaining the same thing over and over at work. Watch this. It'll change your life. Raise your hand if you've told your boss how to do the same thing more than once. Thought so. That's why they're Scribe.
But yow!
She needs to come to terms with the fact that she's getting divorced. It's a reality and it sucks. No one wants to admit that, like, you know, their marriage failed, right? And yes, there's some things playing into the whole stigma of everything, but that's also like not your fault. If she was super worried about that, why is she like in another relationship now? Not the a-hole. My advice is run. She's not over her soon-to-be ex-husband. The thought did cross my mind. It could be that she still wants the benefits and the idea of being married. At the end of the day, it's like she's not married anymore. Well, I mean, technically she still is. She does have some unresolved feelings here, and until she is really okay with being divorced, I don't really think that you should wait around. All she's worried about is how she looks to others. Partners in relationships consider each other's feelings. From the sound of it, she doesn't really care about you. You are her dirty little secret, a 9-month secret. It's not like you're having an affair, or are you? The fact that her divorce didn't start until 8 months after you started a relationship is proof. From outside looking in, she was just trying to have you and her ex-husband at the same time, or holding on to her ex-husband just in case it didn't work out with you. If your gut is telling you to cut all contact and that what is going on is wrong, please listen to it. Yeah, I find it weird that she's even considering taking her ex in the first place. It's one thing to want to go alone, but like, why take the ex? Are we like entirely sure she's getting divorced? Like, have we seen proof of this? So we do have an update. Okay, so OP's gonna answer some of the repeat questions. Who filed, and did I definitely know they were divorcing? My ex-girlfriend has always made out that she had begun proceedings. Honestly, I don't know for definite that they are, but she did have a few meetings with a lawyer. When I was with her, she'd moved into her own place in March. So to me, all the signs pointed that way, but of course it may not have been the truth. Okay. She does have her own place. I would say yes, I think that that is proof that they're separated, but... 2, why would her not ex-husband agree to go? This is a solid question, and if I'm honest, from what she told me about him, I genuinely don't think he would have. One of the reasons she gave for their marriage collapsing was that he became more antisocial and introverted and stopped wanting to go anywhere and do anything with her. I think that's why it felt worse, because if she was telling the truth about him, she was willing to take someone who had previously, on multiple occasions, said he didn't want to go and do things. If I'm honest on reflection, I think this is an example of her refusing to face reality and clinging on to her old identity. She just thought he would always agree, because previously he probably, always, begrudgingly, okay, that was a sentence, has, and she hasn't appreciated or logically thought about the weight of what she would be asking. If it was me, I certainly would have said no, like everyone else said they would too. Yes. But anyways, on to the update. So, we split up.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
Thanks to all the perspectives here, I text her to say I hope she was okay and that the space had given me time to reflect on the situation. I explained I could see things from her perspective and what her intentions might have been, but I was hurt that she hadn't felt she could communicate that with me first. As if she had, the outcome might have been different and we could have worked something out. However, I felt her behavior in calling me selfish and the not running decisions by me, etc., was disrespectful and inconsiderate, and that was now my major problem in moving forward with the relationship. Ooh, stand on business, honey. She replied to say if I was just going to bring another source of pain and stress into her life, then I may as well go, because I was still making the whole thing about me and my feelings and not appreciating her not breaking apart at the seams while her life did. Okay, again, she's kind of playing the victim. So she'd be taking more space until I decided what I wanted. Your trauma is not your fault. Things that happen to you are not your fault. But what is your fault is how you choose to treat other people as a result of the things that happen to you. Thanks to all of you, I realized how invalidating and again, manipulative that was. It is manipulation.
This is literally my favorite perfume.
Oh, I don't care. You're a child.
At the end of the day, she's playing the victim so she doesn't have to take responsibility for the fact that what she did was not okay. Like, you're dating someone for 9 months and then number one, you find out that they don't tell anyone about you. Number 2, they haven't told everyone they're divorced. And number 3, they want to take their ex to an office Christmas party instead of you, and somehow they are the victim.
How does that work?
So I told her we'd make the space permanent and wished her the best. Her response was just okay, and asking if she could still use my Netflix password. How embarrassing. Why does this always come up in friendship breakups, divorces? How are you not embarrassed to ask if you can still use their Netflix password? That is so embarrassing.
Who gets the Netflix password in the divorce?
The person that pays for it. So I changed the password. Then she texts again a little while later asking why I changed it. And could I put it back because it had locked her out of a show she was watching. So I had a good laugh to myself about the irony of decision making without running it by her and didn't respond. On to better things and a definite lesson learned in the future in seeing red flags. I also wanted to thank the commenters who have lived it and shared their experiences. It did make it easier to understand what her motivations and intentions might have been for carrying on as normal. As I said in a previous comment, she had a bad experience with a previous job and was out of work for some time in between. I also knew she was nervous about this as it was beginning to ramp up. I can see why she may have obfuscated
Obfuscate.
the truth so that her employers didn't think she had any personal distractions, which might have stopped her at being her sharpest. Where we live, you need 2 years to be safe from being fired, and she was only a year in. I can totally get why someone suddenly on their own with individual finances, plus lawyer fees and divorce settlement if true, would not want to risk their income and suddenly being shut off or being back out of work for a long period. Having said that, I also agree with everyone that there is a difference between obfuscating the truth and showing up with your ex, and essentially playing pretend when there was the option of going alone and just making an excuse for them. Though I guess I can also see why maybe that would feel awkward or uncomfortable being surrounded by others. At the end of the day, if she had come to me and explained, maybe we could have worked it out. However, she didn't, and everyone was right that her behavior and attitude toward me in the situation was very disrespectful and problematic in the end. Yes, everyone's like, yay, so glad you guys broke up. This is weird. I can get her not wanting to jeopardize her job because of like a divorce proceeding. I mean, it really doesn't explain why she couldn't have just gone alone. Like, I understand it's awkward, but like, not as awkward as like taking your ex that you're currently being divorced to. So are you the a-hole because your girlfriend wants to take her ex-husband to her work Christmas party? I would say no. We're gonna go with no. Not the a-hole. We got some more work drama for you coming right up. Am I overreacting? My coworker harasses me about my masculinity and DM'd my wife.
My wife?
I'm currently dealing with a work situation that I, 28 male, need advice on. Before I work, I go to the gym about every other day. I'm hardly shredded, but I've gone enough that you can see my muscles when I come into work in short sleeves. I wouldn't describe myself as a gym bro or a gym rat. I really just go for my overall health. Anyways, I work in an office with maybe 25 to 30 people that work there. We mainly do business to business sales and supply, not really relevant to the story. So I get to work one day wearing a polo, and a couple of girls and guys in the office were asking me if I had been working out recently, and I told them that I had. It wasn't flirtatious or anything like that. I think they were just giving me a friendly compliment. Plus, I'm married. But as we're discussing me working out, my coworker, Gary, 40s male, walks in. Gary is a lot. He's one of those guys who constantly talks about how much he benches, his gains, and generally just tries to project this super intense alpha male image, which is annoying, but none of my business really. Side eye. This is where the problem starts. Someone asked me what my max bench was. I told them honestly, and Gary, who was lurking nearby, scoffed loudly. He then proceeded to tell me in front of like 5 other coworkers that my number, 170, was pathetic, and that I clearly wasn't a real man or an alpha.
It's time, your time, not just to go
Goodness.
back to school, but to come back and move.
He then went on a tirade about how men needed to be strong and dominate, etc., etc. It was super uncomfortable. I tried to just laugh it off and change the subject, but it didn't work. Since then, it's gotten worse. Yeah, he sees you as a threat now. And he obviously probably doesn't like that you're getting compliments at work, probably from women he likes. Every single day, Gary makes some kind of comment. If I'm getting coffee, he'll ask if I'm strong enough to lift the pot. If I'm walking to my desk, he'll flex and ask if I'm inspired yet to hit the weights like a real man. Let's get rid of this notion that like going to the gym
Call it sexual
means
harassment,
that you have to
'cause that's
be
what it is.
like an Olympic lifter. This is exactly why people don't go to the gym, because this judgment does exist. This notion that everybody has to be doing their reps perfectly, that everybody, needs to be working out as much as they do, that nobody's eating enough protein. There's so much like gym shaming that goes on, and it's honestly kind of annoying because at the end of the day, it's like everyone is different. People work out for different reasons. Let's not pretend that like we're better than other people. Being a gym rat is not like it's not a flex. Like some people just enjoy it. Some people just do it for health. They're not in it to like be Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've tried ignoring him, giving him short answers, and even politely telling him to knock it off. Nothing works. He laughs and says I need to grow thicker skin. Ugh, this is so like textbook, like, ooh, he's the alpha and you're the beta. He sees you as like a sub deer, and he wants to like duke it out with you for dominance. This is where I start to lose my shit a little. My wife, 27 female, texted me a screenshot yesterday. It was a DM from Gary. Oh.
Right away.
Remember when I said this is about him being jealous? It was a picture of him flexing in the mirror with some ridiculous caption about being a true alpha and how real women know what's up. Honestly, as a woman, that kind of thing grosses me out. If you even say out loud that you're an alpha, you're a beta. Like, I'm sorry. It's true though. Like, why do you feel the need to like say it out loud? Like, don't just say you're an alpha, be an alpha.
Show, don't tell, Mr. Armstrong.
He'd somehow found her on social media and sent her this unsolicited picture and message. I was beyond furious. I wanted to march over to his desk and punch him, but I knew that would only make things worse. I mean, you could definitely get him fired. I'm starting to dread coming to work. It's constant, it's demeaning, it's making me feel genuinely small and uncomfortable. And now he's involving my wife. Am I overreacting? Is this just typical guy banter that I'm not getting? It might have been initially typical guy banter, but it's not now that he's involved your wife. That is him blatantly disrespecting you and trying to one-up you. I don't know a single woman that would like see something like that, like someone who's in a relationship and see something like that and like be like, oh my God, yeah. Should I suck it up and ignore him, or is this actually something worth addressing with HR? I think it's absolutely something worth addressing with HR.
I'd like an HR person to remind everyone about workplace boundaries.
This is your chance to be an alpha. This is your chance to stand your ground. You don't have to punch him, but like, he's bullying you. I don't want to say you're letting him get away with it, but like, it's not helping that, you know, you're just knock it off, whatever. I think you need to go to him, stare at him square in the face, and say, "F off." I feel like if I tell HR, it might just add fuel to the fire. But if I come down to his level and respond violently, I'll lose my job. You don't have to respond violently. It doesn't need to go from like 0 to 100 here. Even just go up to him in a public setting, like at his desk. Humiliate him a little bit.
Maybe that's what he wanted.
I'm just saying. So, update. I'm going to take this to HR tomorrow. Thank you guys for letting me know the severity of this. It is severe. It kind of reminds me of just like being bullied in school. I firmly believe that bullies need to get like not necessarily a taste of their own medicine. You do need to shut that down. I think he's a little afraid of you. I'm just saying. HR should have been involved a long time ago. Be advised he will pursue the wife angle more aggressively than ever. OP said that is my concern and that it'll just make him want to escalate things further. That is a reasonable fear, but once you report it to HR, explain everything to them as you did here. You can continue to report any retaliation or additional incidents. He is harassing you and creating a hostile work environment. He is, and the reason why I'm saying to like actually talk to him about it in person and to like stand your ground a little more, my worry is if he gets fired and he retaliates even more and takes it outside of like the workplace. That's what I'm worried about. That's why I feel sometimes like it's better to just stare someone square in the face and tell them to stop. HR's job is to protect the company from being sued by you by intervening in your coworkers' behavior. Just keep documenting everything, because if HR doesn't effectively do its job, you will have a case for a lawsuit. Obviously, the hope is that it won't come to that. Good luck. OP responded again, I think you're right. I've let this whole thing about me calling me weak get to my head. I'm just not into violence, and I feel like that's what he's trying to provoke. So we do have an update. I ended up going to HR. I honestly didn't think HR would do much because Gary's a good employee in terms of performance, but surprisingly, they took my complaint very seriously and were in disbelief when I showed them the screenshot of the DM he sent to my wife. The next day, Gary was not at the office, so I wasn't sure if they'd fired him or if he was just on suspension at first, but our boss told us to let his clients know that he was out for the day if they called the office. So I assumed that meant he got suspended. He was back this morning. Usually he greets me with some kind of smart remark, but today he was really quiet and seemed to be avoiding eye contact with me. When I went to grab some coffee out of the break room a little after, he came in there and asked if we could talk.
We pretty much take it all. Fridges and dishwashers, couches, mattresses, same day notice or 3 weeks in advance.
It's good to know you're like making a difference.
He proceeded to tell me that HR laid into him big time and they told him that if he pulled anything like that again, it would result in termination. He then proceeded to apologize to me for everything he said and said that, as pathetic as it sounds, he was just upset that nobody ever compliments him on going to the gym despite how much time he spends in the gym in his free time. Oh, brother. He said it hurt that people acknowledged me when going to the gym wasn't as big of a deal for me as it was for him. He then asked for my forgiveness. I honestly felt kind of bad for him in that moment, and it was really kind of pathetic, but he did seem sorry, so I told him I accepted his apology, but if he ever messages my wife on anything again, he'll have a lot more to worry about than an HR complaint. He again apologized. I'm glad that you actually kind of had a chance to like set a very strong boundary with him, because it's not even just about you at that point, it's also about your wife. Your wife is uncomfortable. You want to defend her honor. And yes, it was, you know, kind of about you in that he kind of wanted to like stir the pot a little bit. Whatever sort of weird competitive was going on in his head. At the end of the day, that is your wife.
My wife?
And you need to like kind of put your foot down here. You can make fun of me as much as you want, but the minute that you like hurt my friend or my husband, you're dead to me. Like, you're literally dead to me. It's kind of like that mama bear, like, protective mentality where you'll be a pushover, but when it comes to, like, people you love, you, like, won't be. It's a good thing to do, I think. I don't know if this situation is fully resolved, given it's only been half a day, but Gary has been quiet and not at all like himself. We'll see if this lasts, but his apology felt genuine. So hopefully this is the last update I'll have to give on this situation. To some degree, this is all, like, from a place of insecurity, right? Gary is insecure, but like I would argue that like the lack of compliments also comes from a place of maybe he's just not liked as a person either. So am I overreacting? My coworker harasses me about my masculinity and DM'd my wife. You're not overreacting. Buddy wants what you have. Sis guy.
Hi, friends. I hope you're having a wonderful...
I forgot there was
My
this.
energy bill dropped from $150 to $50 by doing this. My friends laughed at me when I spent $49 on a power saver device that could cut my energy bill in half. They thought I got scammed. But when I showed them my super...
Come in, order. It's time to talk about Roblox.
Roblox, a billion-dollar company that calls itself the safest place on the internet for anyone.
You would see it, you would not think there's any way predators could infiltrate this game or anything like that. And what I saw was there were people trying to do horrible stuff with children within this community, and it blew my mind.
Cases against Roblox is a predation against children.
It's a huge problem. People are aware of it, but it is still growing.
Since 2018, police have arrested at least 24 people accused of misusing Roblox to contact young users and move chats off platform.
Unless
Roblox can remove every single dangerous off of its site, then it shouldn't have the site at all. It should not be exposing our kids to this danger.
You know, it's very dangerous what they're perpetuating. They know it, and they have made choices to not use the tools that they could be using to protect children, and they've done that for profits.
And how do you think of the problem of predators on Roblox?
So fun.
Where it stands now, Roblox is inarguably not safe for children.
Please do not send any hate or honestly comments of any kind to anyone mentioned in this video on behalf of me or yourself. The purpose of this video is to give my commentary and opinion on matters of public concern. Thank you. Roblox is an online platform and game creation system where users can play a massive variety of user-created games and experiences. It allows users to create their own games using this free platform tool, Roblox Studio, and then they can share the game with others. Users can access Roblox on a variety of devices, including computers, smartphones, and gaming consoles. According to regulatory filings cited by the New York Post, Roblox had over 150 million average daily users. I repeat, over 150 million average daily users a day. And 40% of Roblox's daily users are under the age of 13. Users on Roblox are incentivized financially to create their own experiences, aka games, with an in-game currency called Robux. This creates its own economy.
Often these same predators, Kevin, are paying children in Robux, the currency of the platform, to entice them into compromising positions.
And the thing about Roblox is they're making 30% of every single sale that goes through their game.
And Roblox isn't just popular with children, in particular under the age of 13. It has now spread into the cultural zeitgeist. It is a cultural juggernaut of its own. We've seen Roblox involved in such pop culture history, such as whenever one of Kim Kardashian's kids found, allegedly, some reference to her tape on Roblox.
Look at this on Roblox.
What?
Oh my
made that? Who made that? Where is it? Click on it. Oh, hold on. Chloe, look at this. What? Let me see.
Put a pillow in the chair.
Chloe, come here. I feel like you're the only one that would understand. Okay, I'm coming. I'm not sure what this means. This is a character on Roblox, but it says... What? I know, that's why I said.
That's not my character. That's a game.
Oh, it's a game? Yeah. Oh, well then we're suing them if it's a game with my name and picture. Huh.
There was a picture of my cry face, and then I looked at it, and it said something super inappropriate, like Kim's new.
With 50 to 60% off everything online at Old Navy, we've invited the abominable snow monster to give us his take on outerwear.
This guy get.
No, it was an inappropriate thing that popped up on his Roblox about me.
And if I recall correctly, this was the first episode of the new Hulu iteration of the Kardashians show, so it could be argued by some, perhaps, that this was used to advertise the show and perhaps even Roblox itself.
Hey, let me call you back. Let me just call Kanye really quick.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's not okay, though. It's not. You know, on Roblox. You know, Sam was on Roblox yesterday. And a thing popped up. And he started laughing. I was like, Mommy, look. And it was a picture of my cry face. And it was a game that someone made of Roblox. And it said Kim's new tape. When you clicked on it, thank God he can't read yet. And it's like, over my dead body, is this shit gonna happen to me again? I just want it gone.
But again, it was kind of like, oh, there's this missing S-tape, a missing, unreleased part of the tape, and they're going to release it on Roblox. So, I mean, I can imagine that would have driven some people to Roblox. That was actually the first time I ever really remember hearing of Roblox in a way that it stuck in my mind. Now, there are also official collaborations between certain celebrities very popular with children, for example, and Roblox. We have this one right here, all the way 10 years ago. Selena Gomez did a promotional event in connection with Roblox and the Hotel Transylvania 2 movie, Hotel T, she called it.
Hey Roblox fans, this is Selena Gomez. Humans are now allowed in Hotel T.
There's this Charlie XCX had a full concert in Roblox. Apparently this was in conjunction with or sponsored by perhaps Samsung, and it was in the game Dress to Impress, but I don't know if this thing that I saw is actually a real reenactment. Because part of Roblox's whole design is you as a user can create a game. It is a little bit difficult when you're researching it to determine which concerts were the official ones and which were kind of fan created, but this thing right here is what I think is the official concert, and it's like Charlie's like a giant wearing a little mini skirt, which I'm sure people tried to, you know, who knows, it's little kids running around. She's huge, and then these little block characters running around, and I'm just like, this is the concert? Samsung sponsored this? Okay. Anyway, speaking of things that are perplexing, and well, go hang out with your grandkids. Ma'am, go sit by the tree, put the ornaments up for once or something. I'm just like, truly, I'm a Cher hater, to be honest. Anyway, so there, like I said, Charlie XCX, Selena Gomez, Cher, there's like official collabs. Roblox has also permeated into the cultural zeitgeist in a way where it's like Roblox imitates life, imitates Roblox, because we have a WAP simulator, somebody's child, presumably. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's kids really making these games and this stuff. I think kids are enjoying it and are the consumer of it or whatever, but like, I don't know if kids made this, but kids are impressive. Maybe they did. There's this WAP simulator, basically. I mean, there's like a music video of WAP, which is just detestable and grotesque at all. Like, that hundreds of millions of kids. This video is on YouTube. It has 1.7 million views. I'll spare you my preaching at this moment, but oh, you know I want to. So anyway, there's this other seemingly fan-made full concert reenactment simulator of a David concert, and you know, this is the guy that's all entangled, just named yesterday in the media as a suspect in the unaliving of a child who he met on social media. So not only Roblox, but you know, Discord and these other sites are being used to do some untoward things, and you know, the Roblox has kind of permeated all of our culture at this point and is beloved by children. So now that you know a little bit about Roblox, let's take a look at some of the types of games that can be played on the platform, shall we? We'll start here. Generally unsettling. Some of this is definitely going to have to get blurred out. Shout out to the That Surprise BJ Investigates Headquarters Mothership Studios Editing Department. But just right here, Unalive Nico Girls. I mean, I can't even say it. This is a platform that is clearly for children. Clearly for children. And, you know, I don't know who's in there. 40% of the 150 million, like 60 million a day are under 13. Listen to a girl's stomach. Some of it's just bizarre, if not, generally unsettling. That's the category we're in. In keeping with this theme, there are multiple, and this is a quote. This is a quote. Quote, hood simulators. And what do you think they're doing in the hood simulators? Is it like hanging out and playing spades on the front porch? No, it's not. Many of the thumbnails have weapons of the perhaps automatic and semi-automatic type. I mean, it's just, what in the hell is this?
We robbing this place too. We robbing a store. PD is not doing nothing about it.
There's violence, there's weapons, there's pew-pews. And again, y'all, this isn't just teenagers. This is like kids under 13 is like 60 million a day on this website. There's that violence getting pushed. There's just generally like weird listen to a girl's stomach. What in the hell is that? But also there's the like sort of SUL type of material that is platformed heavily and featured heavily on the site. So this is like dance clubs. So what you're doing as your little avatar character, you walk into a dance club and then you make your character do stuff. Like, you know, it's like a video game. So in the dance clubs, they're doing things that adults would do in a dance club with their avatars. And so people have, you know, argued that this is a type of a grooming.
Oh man. Oh Jesus.
Now, Roblox does and did have a rating, a content evaluation rating system, and there have been a few iterations of this system, but we'll start with the one that was seemingly, from my research, the most long-standing, which started at the all ages category. Ages 5 plus. This is the all ages category, so they don't supposedly allow anybody under the age of 5 on the platform. So let's take a look at some of these games that are in the ages 5 plus category. This is the all ages category. Oh look, it's a fight baddies simulator with an orange hand punching a black Roblox avatar, who's apparently supposedly a baddie. Like for more updates, welcome to Fight Baddies Simulator. Train your strength skills, fight, punch, and knock out baddies to earn wins, unlock special punching powers, and upgrade them. Premium players get 15% strength. Lagging, use a free VIP server. Okay, listen, y'all. Maturity mild, crude humor mild, violence repeated mild. You're knocking people out. But there's something you blink and you miss it right here. Unlock special punching powers and upgrade them. And this is a theme that I'm going to ask you to notice as we move through the Roblox investigation. A major component of playing Roblox games is these in-game purchases. So, I don't know if y'all ever played, you know, Candy Crush or whatever, and it's like you could buy 3 more fruits for 99 cents or whatever. I mean, you know, that like type of thing, or like Farmville. It'll like if you pay money, you can get more in the game. So that is how it works here. Remember when we mentioned the Robux a while back? Like users are incentivized to create these games. Well, they're also incentivized to do other things within the games that require money. Even Dress to Impress. There's like a special closet. You want to play dress up in the special closet, you gotta pay.
VIP room.
So if you're a premium player, you get more strength. So this is like a general across the board phenomenon, you could say, within Roblox. Let's take a look at some more of the all ages games that can be enjoyed on Roblox platform. This one's for ages 5 and up. Pooping Simulator. Yes, big update. Welcome to Pooping Simulator. Don't forget to favorite the game and give us a like. Now, the way they spelled favorite right here reminded me, 80%, more than 80%, maybe 88%, I think about 80% of Roblox users, according to reports that I read, are not in the US. Okay, not in the US. So, who's making these poo-poo games? I don't know. Again, I'll spare you my conspiracy theories for the time being, but just things to think about. Poop and fart on your friends. Okay, Blippi. And assert your dominance by pooping and farting on your friends. Did the Dubai Porty Potty princess make this? Poop and fart on your friends and assert your dominance. Smear your poop on others. Poop Simulator, the awesome, ultra realistic pooping simulator. Now, I did have the staff over here at BJ Investigates Studios go and check out the pooping simulator to test, so I didn't have to put it upon my pupils and my retinas. Also, y'all cannot use Roblox. I couldn't even walk around and dress to impress.
It's not that far down.
That's cute.
This is me being me. I don't wear shoes a lot. It's part of my thing.
Makes sense.
I'm country. Please. We can't even get a screenshot and TikTok. Okay, one more round, then I'm going to bed.
Anyway, it doesn't actually appear to be that ultra realistic. Am I reporting this accurately? It was poop emojis. There was also, again, you look, poop on every surface you can, it said. Premium users get 2x coins. And so whenever, when I had my people look into the pooping simulator on Roblox, they reported back to me that if you pay money, you could get unlimited pooping, auto poop. This circles back into, videos I've made in the past. I've been on to Poopy Gate since 2023. We did Poopy Gate for the Olympics. We did Poopy Gate for Ice Spice, or was that the same video? I don't know. It's all a blur. Anyway, so again, we see, you can pay more money and get more stuff. Ugh, what is this third one from the last on the top row? Poops and ladders. Oh my God, look at him jumping off the toilet. There's no shortage of Poopy Gate games. This is grotesque. This screenshot alone is, oh my God, poop, a big poop. So we talked about the baddies one. This is violence, against women. You're beating up, the baddies, knocking them out, pay extra to knock them out harder. Pooping simulator, which is just like a grotesque smear to poop on others and assert your dominance. No, thank you. No home training. And then there's also another category of games that's just like demonic, we'll say. Haunted, I don't know, traumatizing in that way. 6, 7 kid horror. Look at the big nasty. What do you call that type of mouth? The Comperchico mouth. The Cheshire Cat smile. It's called something. It's got all those teeth and that boardwalk guy. Anyway, this is grotesque. Okay, it's all grotesque to me. This one's demonic. I rebuke. 6, 7 kid horror. No, thank you.
A lot of times people try to base their journeys off of what other people are doing, but that's not my story. This is walking in my own footsteps.
Mustard, Kendrick, mango meme, scary horror, survive, escape, trend meme, brain rot. 6, 7. No, thank you. So that's the all ages games, if you will recall. Now there's other categories of ages in this most long-standing system. Again, like I said, they have been making changes lately to the age ranking system. So at the time of the recording of this video, which is November 19th, 2025, the age ranking rating system is a little bit in flux.
Okay, Roblox players, you gotta see this. So a lot of people have been trying to trick Roblox's age verification using everything from Bratz dolls to literally pictures of Ryan Gosling. And well, this kid here actually managed to do it. What he did was he drew a beard on his face with a marker, and then he put on some glasses. And if we watch the video, you can see that the system actually marks him as 18 plus, an adult, even though he's only 15 years old.
If you go to Roblox, the platform, these games are still categorized by age suggestion. It'll say, for 9 up, 5 up, whatever. So there's a 9 plus category. Okay, there's a 9 plus, a 13 plus, a 17 plus, and then an unrated. Okay, so we just talked about some of these all ages games.
I don't
There's like a new system. They may have gone back to the old one. We're just going to go with the most long-standing system, which was the 5, 9, 13, 17 unrated. Schlep just tweeted about this. Here's a fish game on Roblox being pushed to 9-year-olds, and sure enough, realistic fart engine simulator. Now, I don't know why he's calling it a but somebody did comment below. Let me take a screenshot just in case. And you'll know you'll know who Schlep is very soon if you don't already. But this says, maturity mild, ages 9 plus. He's calling it a fish game. Somebody said creators of each game is gross. They need to delete it. And then Schlep says the whole group is fish fart poop games. So I guess there's like a group, Hammock Studios, that create Hammock. I didn't fact check this. I'm reading a tweet. The whole group is fart poop games. Some are rated 5 plus, which means all ages. This game is also available here, Roblox. It's another poop game, also in the 9 years old plus category. The old thumbnail showed a male avatar pooping out a ladder, which a female avatar was climbing. I've reported this to Roblox 5 times, but nothing has been done, and it too is being pushed to 9-year-olds. Okay, nasty, disgusting. So as you can see, the categories 5 and 9 for the kids and stuff are pretty bad on their own. Like, there's a prison simulator. They have all ages games of that too. But I will remind you, there's a 17 plus and an unrated category. The key guideline to the 17 plus games and like using strong language, the game has to be marked 17 plus. You're not allowed to bully and harass and stuff like that. And this is where it starts to kind of really like get into these like hangouts. There's a lot of hangouts all over the place. There's what's called condo communities where like kids are like using their, or adults too, kids and adults alike, many adults being predators, are hanging out with their avatars like in like weird situations.
Roblox condos refer to games on the Roblox platform that host explicit or inappropriate content. These condo games are designed to break the rules, featuring inappropriate animations, unmoderated chat systems, or suggestive themes. While there are surface-level condos like XYZ clubs that host animations, more grotesque condos aren't easy to find on the surface. These games are often shared through private links through Discord servers.
But look, 18 plus bathroom hangout. The description says bathroom hangout, your ultimate chill zone to vibe, style up, and connect. Okay, that sounds fine. Vibing and styling up sounds fine. Doing your hair in the bathroom mirror or whatever. Beach update, pop mall, dance floor, cozy spots, street club, express yourself, meet and connect. Join bathroom hangout today. Turn your everyday chill into an unforgettable hangout. And it's like, who on earth wants to do a bathroom hangout in the video game world? And if you look down at the maturity restricted ages 18 plus, alcohol in the game, okay, fine, they're at, maybe they're at a bar bathroom. Blood? Heavy realistic? Hold on, what? Crude humor, fear, freeform user creation, gambling? But then they say unplayable gambling content. Okay, but there's gambling in these bathrooms somehow. I don't know how that would be. Romance, social hangout, strong language, and violence. What is the blood and violence in the bathroom hangout? I didn't send anybody in there to find out, okay? I just don't know. Devil Club. It's restricted to ages 18 plus or 17. That's another discrepancy. It's like in the title up here, it's 17 plus Devil Club. But in the description down here, it's restricted ages 18 plus. Alcohol, AI interaction, doing what? Blood, crude humor, fear, freeform, user creation, cross-experience content. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it does remind. Roblox doesn't exist in its own vacuum. There's a lot of stuff that's being played within, like, say you're going into the club right here. There might be a big TV playing the Charlie Kirk, in Nation. There might be something playing adult materials on the screen in the club, and it's not Roblox characters. It's, like, embedded within, because remember, people can just code these games.
I found this, random game. I just heard a bad song and a bad picture.
Bennett's dad Brian says he came across this real-life photo, so graphic we had to blur it, of a woman's rear end in the...
There was a depiction of a sexual act in the clouds that was very obviously something quite graphic.
Roblox says this content is not allowed, and the image that Bennett found was a result of a player exploiting a flaw in the system that has since been changed, telling ABC News that this happened 2 years ago.
That was a avatar.
Chevy Equinox is more than an SUV. It's your cool down.
You have arrived.
Your surprise for mom.
Right.
On a bed. I was not expecting to actually wander in.
I just saw hate speech against people of color. I saw kids talking about school. And tons of discussion of acts.
Yes.
That was just in the last 30 seconds of the chat, not to mention what we've seen in the room.
Yeah.
So Roblox, to be fair, does limit what you can talk about. There's like certain words you can't say. You supposedly can't give your number in these little avatar interactions. So this actually creates an incentive for predators, for example, or even just people who want to be friends, to leave the Roblox platform and go somewhere where they do have more freedom to say things that aren't going to be blocked and things like that. And so not only does the incentive exist to get off Roblox and go and chat about things off Roblox, Roblox actively encourages and supports within its platform the very easy integration to leave Roblox and go and talk to somebody else. And this is with another platform, a messaging platform called Discord. Now, to call it only a messaging platform is a little reductive, but for the purposes of what we're talking about today, let's scroll over here. Right here it says the Smile 17 Plus game, also another restricted to 18 plus game for heavy and realistic blood and violence and fear. But look down here, social links to the game. There's an X account, a Discord, and, you know, this is the Roblox account, and I don't know, it's not Japanese. The point is, it's just linked right there, and Roblox has allowed and seemingly still allows even these mature, restricted games. Even if a kid can't join here, they can just click the Discord, and whatever it was they were finna see in the Smile 17 Plus, maybe they're gonna see somewhere else. And Roblox, again, allows these social links to be linked here. So that's a little bit of what you can get into on Roblox. So it'll come as probably very little surprise to you whatsoever to learn there have been countless victims, alleged victims, who have come forward and stated that they were abused on this platform or as a result of this platform as children. Here's one such individual right here. He's a YouTuber, a gamer, a streamer, and he wanted to create video games as a kid. He found himself on the Roblox platform. He goes by the name of Schlep Online. His content focuses now on Roblox as a platform. He claims to have conducted predator sting style operations, identifying and exposing adults who allegedly groom or attempt to engage minors on Roblox.
We caught a Roblox predator.
What's up? So we're here with your Roblox developer, right?
And got him arrested and charged.
How many images do you think we have to get rid of on your phone?
Well, like 30 or 40.
The night before, we had played games with him. We had hung out with him. But the craziest part is, we had caught him from one of our Roblox predator stings.
He claims that he has personal experience being groomed on Roblox in his youth, which he says motivates his current efforts.
Well, Roblox, it was a children's game, you know, it was like little Legos, you know. I thought it was a cool game. I met a very popular game developer, and, you know, I thought that this guy was a innocent, you know, person. I thought he was a totally normal person, and, you know, I looked up to him because he created a game.
He was a bit of a hero to you.
Yeah, he created a game that I really liked, you know. I was like, oh my gosh, he's talking to me, he's interacting with me. I'm just a little kid, I didn't think anything of it. And what was created was this power dynamic where he was, you know, oh my gosh, this crazy developer, I looked up to him, and, you know, I'm just a little kid. And you know, it evolved into him taking advantage of me, and it went on for years. And, you know, eventually it resulted in me making an attempt on my own life. And when I was in the hospital, my mom contacted Roblox about the stuff that happened to me, and they totally brushed her off. They totally just excused everything.
And I've seen the letter that they sent, the email that they sent, and it was basically call your local police department.
Yeah, pretty much. It was called a hotline, which...
Hotline, yeah.
What is that going to do? You know, the email consisted of, my child is in the hospital over a suicide attempt because of a game developer on your platform. So to send, here's a hotline, that's just ridiculous.
No action whatsoever.
No action until years later, until another female developer came forward about her experiences, and only then he finally got removed.
All that happened to me, it totally messed me up mentally. It made me have to go into therapy and psychologically messed with, you know, relationships that I had. Even till this day, I mean, it's something that, you know, it was messed up.
Now, once Schlepp's mother found out about what had happened on Roblox, she, and this is according to Schlepp's accounting of things, she contacted Roblox via email and tried to get them to remove the abuser from the platform so that he could not do any alleged abuse to anybody else.
Dave Mizuki, welcome to Hard Fork.
It is great to be here. Thank you.
How do you think of the problem of predators on Roblox?
We think of it not necessarily just as a problem, but an opportunity as well. How do we allow young people to build, communicate, and hang out together? How do we build the future of communication at the same time?
He states that he reported many predators himself within the platform and within games on Roblox. He also reported a lot of content and games themselves, experiences themselves over the years for not only violating the terms of service for the platform, but also like illegal content and actions. Apparently, according to him, Roblox never took any action against any of these people or as a result of any of Schlepp's reports. He said when they did take any action at all, many of those same predators or predatory games would be right back up and running, even if by a different name very soon after. So Schlepp decided to use his platform to start exposing these predators himself by doing online and in-person sting operations or sting style operations.
So yeah, we would find Roblox predators and we would set up little decoy stings, and you know, these predators would show up thinking that there was a child engage in horrible activity with them. And we would sit down, we would have a conversation sort of similar to what you do. And, you know, they would...
By the way, I was 22 when I started in health reporter. That's how old Schlepp is now. Just saying.
Yeah, we would talk to them, and a lot of times when the cops would show up, they would just admit to everything. Even after being Mirandized, they would be like, yeah, I was here to do this. And they would just bring charges on them every single time.
And how did Roblox respond to this?
In multiple instances, after we got these felony arrests on child predators, we would send them the same Google Drives that we were sending to law enforcement, and they would not take action until after our videos would release, which would get millions of views.
You get millions of views on these videos.
Right.
My energy bill dropped from $150 to $50 by doing this. My friends laughed at me when I spent $49 on a power saver device that could cut my...
It can't be a proud moment for Roblox. It's somewhat embarrassing. What does Roblox do then?
I made it very clear to Roblox, you know, I was willing to handle stuff privately with them, and I just wanted a line to the company. After one of my first arrests, that was literally what I put out. I was victimized on this platform as a kid, and that I wanted a line so I could properly communicate with them to report these individuals. And, you know, Roblox, they never gave me anything until what happened very recently.
Which was?
A cease and desist letter.
So Schlepp's stated reason is that he wanted to stop the same thing that happened to him from happening to other children. Apparently Roblox did not like that. On August 9th, 2025, just earlier this year, Roblox sent Schlepp a cease and desist letter, a demand, accusing him of violating the terms of service for the platform, specifically its policies around vigilante groups. This means taking the law into your own hands. And Roblox threatened to sue Schlepp. They threatened legal action if he continued exposing predators in the way that he was.
This video is actually a call for help, and I need everybody to share this video. The Roblox Corporation has sent a cease and desist letter to me, a 22-year-old, versus a multi-billion-dollar company, threats of litigation, because I catch predators on their platform. Within the last year, me and my team have gotten 6 predators arrested within the Roblox community. Almost all of them have admitted to doing this before to other Roblox users. Every account that I've owned on Roblox since I was 8 years old has been terminated. Accounts that we were actively talking to predators on have now been banned off of Roblox. What Roblox did could potentially stop some predators from facing real-life consequences. Not to mention that Roblox has made a very firm stance that I can no longer access the Roblox platform anymore, which I want to make clear at the start of this video. I will not be accessing Roblox in any capacity at this point further unless Roblox says otherwise.
A cease and desist letter. So get this, all right? Schlepp, who's doing this work, receives a cease and desist letter from Roblox, essentially threatening legal action and insinuating that he was breaking the law and certainly breaking the terms of service.
Eventually, Roblox permanently banned all of Schlepp's accounts, and he'd been on the platform for like 9, 8 years, 10 years. I don't know, he'd been on there since he was a little kid. Not only did they ban all of his existing accounts, they banned his IP address, so he could never again make another Roblox account ever. And again, remember, this is all in the background of the whole reason that Schlepp started doing this at all was because Roblox would not take the predators off the platform. But seemingly very easily, they were able to take Schlepp, who was trying to expose this to protect children, a formerly abused child himself. It's just a little bit upside down clown world in the way that makes perfect sense to the fact that we live in an open air hell prison. Anyway, so Roblox's stated reason was they believed that independent vigilante operations can interfere with official safety protocols or can create risk or undermine law enforcement or official moderation channels. And they were like, you know, you're moving chats off platform and you're impersonating a minor. They said, you know, Schlepp was impersonating a minor, and for that reason it was a vigilante operation. Well, Schlepp made a video about it, and all hell broke loose online on social media. Primarily, what streamers and commentators, even the news, seemed to be concerned with was the hypocrisy and the unfairness that I just described. Schlepp was a child on this platform who wasn't protected accurately or adequately. This is on the backdrop of Roblox CEO saying things like Roblox is the safest place for children online.
I think we're doing an incredible job at innovating relative to the number of people on our platform.
And they tried to get these predators removed. They tried to get these things taken care of, taken down to protect children so that it didn't happen again. What happened to Schlepp? No action was taken. But then when Schlepp finally wanted to do something about the predators on the platform by, in my opinion, it was completely legal what he was doing, he got banned for life. People were pissed. And you know, I could see why.
Old Navy presents Holiday Denim. Dancing and dazzling. With sweaters so merry and bright.
We won't forget. Free Schlepp. We won't forget.
This next one goes out to my boy Schlepp. If I make this, Roblox.
At first, the Roblox CEO kind of was like a little bratty about the whole thing and dug his heels in. They made a few little snotty little Zoom calls and backhanded little statements and things, pretty much doubling down, tripling, quadrupling down, digging their heels in and saying, no, Schlepp was in the wrong when we were in the right.
It was a big controversy when he kicked this guy off the platform.
Yeah, we want to highlight...
How should they be thinking about that?
Yeah, we want to highlight really, we have no tolerance for people who don't follow our policies. And so I would highlight, we've reached out to Schlepp, we've reached out to the general. We love their, feedback and input to how to scale our system. It's why we focus so much on keeping everyone on Roblox where they can share images or where all text is filtered.
Roblox went from lying about me to praising my feedback in the same sentence. For more than a year, I have been begging this company for a line of communication. They ignored every attempt. Now they are using that inappropriate outreach to me as a PR talking point in interviews, as proof that they are engaging and doing their part. Here's what David does not say. He does not mention that they went behind my lawyers' backs. He does not mention that his team had spent weeks publicly in the media comparing me to predators and mislabeling me as a vigilante. He does not mention that even after the outreach, they continued attacking me, and that in this very same sentence where he pretends to play both sides, he is still lying about me.
Last year, activist fund and short seller Hindenburg Research came out with a report arguing, among other things, that Roblox was, quote, compromising child safety in order to report growth to investors. One of the things they pointed to was that there had been a decline in your spending on trust and safety. You have denied that. Why? What did they have wrong?
So fun. Let's keep going down this. And so first off, Hindenburg's no longer in existence, correct? So you should report on that. They went out of business for some reason. The other thing is, have you researched that information? Because you're asking me about this. I'm curious if you've done your own research.
There's another guy, Schlepp, I'm sure you're familiar with who this is, a former Roadblock player who catches predators, and he says his stings have led to 6 different arrests. What's your response?
First off, we reject categorically some of the nomenclature that's been used as far as categorizing this. By many of these incidents, of course, are terrible, but I do want to highlight the vast majority of these things we hear about. The communication, the connection, the image sharing, the coordination is not happening on Roblox. It is happening on apps that young people who get handed a phone have access to.
Yeah, Dave, some of the people on our team said that they have been on it, their children were on it, and they were stalked by random men. What are you doing to prevent this?
All the while, this just continued to inflame and infuriate not only gamers, streamers, and Roblox users, but like now the general public, like parents and state governments. Louisiana said, all right, bet, David Bazooki, you ain't gonna do nothing? I will. Louisiana was the first state to sue Roblox. This was within a week after Schlepp made his video and the whole Free Schlepp movement ensued.
New tonight, the state of Louisiana filed a lawsuit against the popular children's game Roblox. Attorney General Liz Murrow says the online gaming service aided predators in exploitation of children in the state.
Attorney General Liz Murrow announced that Louisiana is suing Roblox, claiming the popular online game perpetuated an environment where Predators could hunt and victimize kids.
It's very dangerous what they're perpetuating. They know it, and they have made choices to not use the tools that they could be using to protect children, and they've done that for profit. So we're going to take it out of the profit, and we're going to also do whatever we can to make sure that there are structural controls put in place to protect our kids.
Shortly after Louisiana, a slew of other states filed suit, including Texas State Attorney General Ken Paxton, which was in November this year, 2025, for, quote, exposing children to sexually explicit content and exploitation. Florida filed suit subpoenaing Roblox regarding age verification. Kentucky filed suit. Attorney General Russell Coleman last month in October sued, saying that Roblox, quote, knowingly permitted an online environment for exploitation of minors.
Underneath this cartoonish, innocent venue is something sinister.
Zoe? Yeah. We're meeting for coffee?
Megan, I love you.
Attorney General Russell Coleman claims the platform Roblox is fronting as a kid-friendly app, but beneath the surface, predators allegedly use it to lure children into dangerous situations. Earlier this year, a Kentucky man pleaded guilty to having ties to an extortion group called 764. He said this group allegedly is known to use Roblox and other apps to groom children.
It's never been safe. We're here to make Roblox safe. Full stop.
Okay, so these state lawsuits are mostly brought under consumer protection and deceptive trade practices state safety laws regarding Roblox basically failing in its duty to protect users, specifically children. The lawsuits share a common theme, and that is stating that Roblox didn't protect children from the sexual predators or grooming or exposure to inappropriate violent content, some of which we've kind of discussed very, very lightly already, and also misled parents about the safety. So not only was all this stuff going on Roblox, but also Roblox was acting like it was perfectly fine and safe to be over there, which kind of gave the parents of the children a false sense of security. According to these lawsuits. Of course, none of these have actually gone through court, so nobody's been held liable. I don't know, I wasn't there. I'm just telling y'all different things that I've seen. The platform is also criticized in these lawsuits for insufficient age verification.
Fucking show love one 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 show love one
over safety of
Rico
users.
one
Now, in
Nico
addition to
cheered
these
10
state
bits.
lawsuits, people get suing too. According to these civil lawsuits, generally, Roblox directly facilitated child abuse and child abuse material on the platforms with pictures and videos and role plays and all those games. An example that I can think of here is like children being exposed to actual gore on a character's shirt. So they'll put this obscene material like as a shirt graphic. So even though it's a like little silly Roblox character, there's something crazy going on the shirt, or possibly illegal. The civil lawsuits also claim that the harm caused on Roblox was furthered by them not verifying ages of the users or moderating any of the content, and by not taking action when other people did report it and then still didn't take it down. There's also this Roblox gambling litigation, which is I think an interesting kind of side piece, where it just starts to show, yeah, there's this sexual stuff going on Roblox that's apparently grooming and whatever, but there's like other dangers of Roblox having nothing to do with that, like gambling addiction litigation. This is a potential class action claiming that Roblox helped gambling companies illegally target children worldwide. And this just points to a broader grooming pipeline. To groom minors, there's a few methods and means that predators are using on Roblox and have used. And this is all according to these lawsuits.
Important news for parents and grandparents. One of the world's most popular gaming platforms for kids is at the center of a new federal lawsuit.
You've probably heard of Roblox, parents, and a lawsuit, though you may not have heard of, claims that the game allowed a predator to groom and exploit an 11-year-old girl from Johnson County.
The family's lawyer claims when Jane Doe was 10, she came in contact with a man on Roblox who convinced her to exchange phone numbers. It eventually led to explicit messages, with the man even asking the girl to undress over a video chat. Now, if you do not know what Roblox is or even have kids, it allows users to create avatars in other mini games, and you can invite people to them and also message with them. Some of the accounts listed in this lawsuit include games called Escape Epstein Island and around 600 centered around Sean Diddy Combs.
They're basically telling you this is a safe place to leave your kid unattended while you go make dinner.
Don't worry about it. This is a safe place. We have the highest security possible out there.
There's these in-game messages, which we've discussed, the in-game currency, Robux, which we've discussed, and the off-platform communications, like on Discord or Telegram or elsewhere, which we've discussed. So again, according to these lawsuits and the allegations therein, the grooming on Roblox is not all SUL. There's perverse activities, and kids are getting groomed into those as well, like antisocial behaviors. Roblox is apparently also being used as a pipeline to groom children worldwide to do acts of violence, okay, on themselves, on their siblings, and on their pets. Rest in peace to that hamster. So I'm going to read an excerpt from just one lawsuit. I just randomly picked one out of a hat. Okay, this is an excerpt from a news article about it. This case was filed by Rebecca Dallas in San Francisco County Superior Court following the unalive of her son. Okay, so we're talking about no longer living, Lil Ethan Dallas. This was in April 2024. The lawsuit accuses Roblox and Discord of wrongful death, fraudulent concealment, negligent misrepresentation, and strict liability. According to the complaint via NBC, Ethan, this child, was groomed by an adult predator who posed as a child on Roblox. What began as casual in-game interactions escalated into explicit exchanges. Attorneys say the predator convinced little Ethan to disable his parental controls and later moved the conversations to Discord. When they got to Discord, he demanded explicit images of the child and threatened to expose the child to, his parents or the world or whatever if he refused to send the pictures. The article goes on, quote, "Tragically, Ethan was permanently harmed and haunted by these experiences, and he unalived by at the age of 15. There's a quote from the lawsuit with a couple redactions.
Timothy O'Connor, who posed as another child. O'Connor actually groomed Ethan, coercing him into sharing explicit photos and messages. When Ethan resisted, O'Connor threatened him.
I'm going to tell your mom. I'm going to make these public. I'm going to hurt you.
For 3 years, Ethan carried this secret. 4 months after bravely telling his mother about the abuse, he took his own life. Rebecca Dallas filed a lawsuit last week claiming Roblox recklessly operated in ways that enabled her son's exploitation.
His family learned afterward that the man who groomed him was later arrested in Florida for SUally exploiting other minors on the same apps. So he didn't even go to jail. He didn't even get arrested for what he did to little unalived Ethan. It was something else of the same type. Now, according to the FBI, the Department of Justice, Roblox is also being used by extremist groups internationally to groom children into acts of political extremism.
So a man from Texas was recently arrested by the FBI after plotting a terrorist attack.
Introducing Grammarly, like you've never seen before. Your all-in-one writing essential. Say hello to Humanizer, the tool that adds warmth and
Humanizer?
Select from a range of voices.
Excuse me, human? Are you struggling to sound human?
Floating around of him talking about it.
The hell?
He says, "I can't confirm anything aloud at the moment, but things are in motion."
Swastikas, far-right dress-up, and this game that encourages players to open fire on them. This is all real gameplay footage on the world's most popular game app.
Jamie's daughter Audrey took her own life just 1 week after her 13th birthday. Jamie's site says that her daughter was groomed by users on that platform into joining a group that glorifies school with the end goal being the person themselves or becomes the school.
This from the government. The feds are saying this. And users can, as I mentioned earlier, embed the developers, the people making these games can just put the Discord right there. Boom. Very easy. Click. Now we're on the Discord. So to touch a little bit more on this political radicalization piece, there are known disclosed groups, we'll say, organizations you could maybe say, forcing children to do things on camera, often live streaming, after compromising them also on camera.
The FBI is tracking an increase in activity from a network called 764.
Really frightening. This is a network of online predators looking to exploit kids on the devices and the apps they're using the most, manipulating them into doing horrible things, acts of violence.
Yeah, and while many people don't even know this is happening, the FBI says this is the #1 threat against children right now. Since we first reported this issue back in May, the FBI has opened at least 100 additional investigations into violent extremists online, and a young man in New Jersey was arrested just last week. They're finding kids online, on gaming sites and social media, befriending them and then extorting them, making the child do things to harm themselves or others. A 21-year-old man in New Jersey was arrested and charged last week on cyberstalking charges. Prosecutors say He used the internet to threaten a minor female and told her to cut herself. On 2 occasions, the minor female her arms after being threatened. A federal complaint shows he also wrote things like this: "There's not enough school."
It sounds terrible, but these individuals want control. They want power. They want to be able to say to their peers and to be able to rise in the ranks of these groups that they've made others do these terrible things to themselves.
This year alone, it's on track to receive nearly 2,000 reports of abuse tied to 764 or similar online networks, much of it starting on popular online platforms. The FBI director calls it modern-day terrorism in America.
By going after them online, causing self-mutilation, abuse, and steering them in the wrong direction.
Referring back to the financial incentives I was talking about earlier, it doesn't take a lot of steps down the ladder to see how perhaps a kid might want to pay for more poops in Poop Simulator, but obviously they're not going to go to their mom and say, "Mom, I need unlimited poops to smear on my friends and assert my dominance." So where are they going to get that Roebuck? Well, maybe, they move off the platform, talk in Discord about how to make an extra $50, and they do something really untoward on camera. Boom. For the rest of their life, they're compromised. For the rest of their life, that groomer, that predator, has that video. And so maybe their financial incentive to buy unlimited poops results in their eventual exploitation, abuse, perhaps even unalive. Here are some of the examples of how government officials have stated Roblox specifically is encouraging political extremism, and this has to do with the Charlie Kirk situation. This is a tweet from Representative Anna Paulina Luna. She said, "I've just been notified that Roblox has a game on their platform referencing the blank of Charlie Kirk. I'm going to be asking Apple and the App Store to remove their app if they don't immediately remove this Charlie Kirk game. I'm also going to call the FCC to take down the whole website." Ooh. So what's she so mad about? Well, here's one, the blank simulators. There was over 100 simulator experiences, games tied to the Pew Pew. Oh my God. Then there's like drawings of it. And I'm also, Schlepp has tweeted that oh my God, we're gonna have to blur this stuff. Oh my God, this is just grotesque. Oh my God, it makes me feel sick. Let's just say there's reenactments, depictions, and celebrations of the incident. I'll put it that way. And there's a whole nother category of games related to Charlie Kirk that has to do with like literally slavery, and they're buying and selling people within Roblox. Roblox has banned a user-created game titled Master Kirk. Oh, we're gonna have to blur this out too. After outrage spread over its grotesque mix of racism and sexual exploitation, it makes me sick to even read the description. Now imagine you're this little kid. Your frontal lobe ain't even, it's mush. This is sick. It's dangerous, and I feel a sense of urgency. This video that I'm making today is a very long time in the making, a very long time, months in the making, because I wanted to make sure that I got to the heart of it. I hope I am. There's something sinister and grotesque. The experience, circulated briefly on the platform before being taken down, depicted a caricature of Charlie Kirk in the role of a master and an avatar resembling George Floyd as his captive. I'm not sure how that resembles George Floyd, but certainly there's a skin color differentiation for sure. Players could participate in auctions, simulations, place bids, and request degrading actions. The game's premise drew on America's history of while exploiting the likeness of both individuals in order to shock and provoke. By casting Kirk, a highly visible right-wing activist, into the role of an abuse overseer, creators fused racial trauma with partisan. Okay, so there's a little bit of a political stance to this, or slant to this, description I am reading. This was from another Instagram post someone else put up. But you see how you could pay money to request degrading acts with these avatars. So if this is already happening on Roblox, what's to stop them from doing exactly the same thing on Discord, where you could request a degrading act from a child? And that is exactly what is going on with the other political extremist group 764. I can literally not even mention what specific things have been sued over, have been asked of these children, but suffice it to say it's live streaming, and at the end of the live stream, sometimes things have been written on the wall with something red. Sometimes there used to be a hamster, a pet hamster, and now it's a dead pet hamster. And in some extreme cases, they're convincing people, children and grown-ups, just completely convincing them to go commit acts of unalive other people and unalive their own selves on camera. Okay, we're gonna have to blur a lot of those words out, and hopefully you get the point. But people are losing their lives, people are disfiguring themselves, children are hurting their pets, hurting their younger siblings, providing pictures of their younger siblings. This is happening in every way. Sexually, for these perverts, for financial incentives, also just because they want to see it themselves. This is also creating violent extremists. This is dissociating and traumatizing children. It's unlimited. I'm sure you could think of more. Okay, video's long enough, so I'll stop it there. Now, thankfully, it appears that people on social media, commentators, the news, YouTubers, TikTokers, lawyer reaction channels have started to raise the flag, raise the alarm, and bring awareness to the Roblox imminent situation. You know, Roblox predator realizes he's been caught. Any one of these videos, I mean, they're all viral. Roblox predator gets arrested. Roblox blank situation is getting worse. Roblox has a predator problem. And I do want to mention, you know, like I said, today's November 19th. At the time of the recording of this video, literally yesterday, it was announced. Literally yesterday, it was announced that the CEO, here's his tweet right here, wanted to share a few thoughts. They're rolling out age verification, and that's great. I'm glad they're doing something. About time. Because earlier, you know, in this whole saga, during the free schlep thing, he was a vigilante and Roblox is so safe and great. So now they're doing, you know, some changes to the rollout. Like I said earlier, they're changing or have made a few changes to the age ranking system of the videos. Used to be you could have an unrated game. Now there's no more unrated allowed. You got to have your age rating. That being said, even within the first 20 hours of the age verification rollouts, people were reporting that they were able to just bypass it with making a fake AI image. Kids were reporting getting age verified because it's AI. It's not an ID. You have to like send Roblox a bunch of pictures of your face, which I don't know necessarily that makes anybody more safe. And that's not a knock at Roblox. Anything is susceptible to being hacked. I mean, the period tracking app got hacked. All the data got leaked or whatever. I mean, the Equifax hack. There's been my law school email, the email to the alumni's got hacked the other day. Anything can get hacked. So you want, you know, 200 million kids picture this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way, just floating around? Like, I don't know. But like, I gotta say, at least Roblox is doing one thing, something, and I highly anticipate they're gonna continue to be doing more things. It is kind of hard to keep up with what's going on with all the lawsuits because there are so many. But I do hope that, you know, maybe some accountability is had, but truly my purpose for making this video is that I know that a lot of y'all have your own kids, have your own perhaps grandkids and or nephews and or nieces, or you babysit or whatever. Roblox has been marketed as something that is ubiquitous and safe, the safest place for kids on the internet, etc., etc. And I'm here to tell y'all that I don't know if these people are ever gonna get held accountable. I also don't know if a lot of this stuff is true. Some of this stuff I do know is true because I saw it myself. I've given you the basis upon which I base my opinions, and I know it's like, you know, so boomer of me, but truly, you have control to some extent over what your kids are doing and watching, especially under the age of 13, and that is 40% of the 151 million daily users is under 13, okay? So check out what your kids are doing, check out what they're playing. Just because it's a little robot avatar doesn't mean that something sinister might not be happening. They might not be doing something to their hamster in the closet or something, you know, they might not be being exploited or worse. Anyway, that's all I really have for this one. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it, okay, bye.
Wow.
Stop using the same mascara you used in your 30s on your sparse lashes. As we age, our lashes naturally thin out, making it harder to get that defined, lifted look. Most
Welcome into my world. You're playing my game. Thought that you could come up and they're fitting off of my knee. Talking out the side of your neck like
anyone. You would see it, you would not.
Because, girl, she starts blowing over there and it's like so loud. I feel like I'm having to compete with the heater. Anyway, okay, so if y'all saw my little short earlier, you saw I have my little roller set in, trying to set my curls or you know, whatever waves, and they're a little ornery right now, but we're gonna let them just do. Have you ever seen an eye wash cup? This is show and tell. I wasn't necessarily like, this isn't the point of the video, but if you're like a thrifter and you ever see anything like this, or I guess you could just buy them, like, you know, this is like a vintage one made out of this blue glass. It's called something special. My friend Pamela gave me this, but if you have some in your eye and you need to wash it, like, it fits like really perfect, and you can, like, you know, do that. Anyway, it's like an eye wash cup. I'm sure it's called something else. Anyway, I don't know if y'all ever saw anything like that before. Shout out to that cup. But anyway, okay, so we're going to be talking about a little bit about David today. 2 reasons. Number 1, I have a very good video coming out on VJ Investigates. You just saw the trailer for. If you even kind of like me a little bit, or if you like me or if you hate me, please do go give that video a watch. I've been trying to put the video out since Thursday. It's been kind of like done since Wednesday of last week. So it's like been about a week of me trying to get it up. And it's not only just me, it's, you know, my editor. Shout out to the BJ Investigates headquarters investigation team, who has been painstakingly working to try to get a version up that is gonna, you know, pass and everything, and finally did. So shout out to that. And that's coming out today, 5 p.m. So I need to get the show on the road over here. About 30 minutes. So I do want to talk about David for another reason today, other than the fact that it does relate to, you know, the video I have coming out on BJ Investigates, which is like the social media. I'm trying to be careful here, like alleged, like grooming, alleged of it all. Yeah, you gotta get a little blue blast cup. Anyway, okay, I have to go away from that comment on the live chat right now because it distracts me, and now I'm on a time crunch. I should have came on here earlier, but I didn't want to do that long. I found an older article about David and his career that is kind of helping me to fill in some gaps, fill in some context for, I mean, things that I haven't heard before. It's very interesting because today, for the first time, when I typed in David, because I was looking D4VD, I was looking for a new picture to use for thumbnails, like the same few pictures I keep using, which I don't mind doing, but I was just kind of like, okay, I was in the mood for a different picture for the thumbnail today. And I saw I saw a set of pictures that looked new, like I hadn't seen these pictures before, but they don't appear to actually be new. So I did pull the article up on the Wayback Machine, which is up right now. This is public for, you know, commentary purposes and all that. But if you will recall, this is a News Nation article. This is back from September 2025. A few months ago. It's December right now, December 2nd. So this is from September. This is the same month that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body, her remains were found and also identified. And then remember whenever that, you know, all these little videos and things were coming up, popping up, different little evidence here and there and everywhere. And then there was like this supposed teacher that was supposedly Celeste Rivas Hernandez's teacher in the past. He taught her maybe in like the 7th grade or something. And then he was like, she met this guy on social media, rapper in LA. And you know, we were all like, you know, please, David's not a rapper, but like, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, whatever. So that teacher, remember, said that she and David met on social media. Now, if you just like type it into Google, and I will do that right now, just so y'all know, just the question, where did D4VD meet Celeste Rivas? Okay, when you type that in, the Google AI, which, oh, girl, they done changed it. Stop.
My energy bill dropped from $150 to $50 by doing this. My friends laughed at me when I spent $49 on a power saver device that could cut my energy.
Okay. So if you ask it different stuff, it does, like, you know, word your question, even if it seems like it's the same question. The AI, Google AI thing will give you kind of like different answers. So this is one right here. Just where did D4VD meet Celeste? The AI overview, again, take with grain of salt. This is not fact. They do kind of like cite a little link here, and I think that is this right here. But like don't, you know, this is AI overview. So that I've seen that be wrong before, but even the AI overview is like Celeste and David met on social media. Reports from her former teacher and family sources suggest their initial contact occurred on an online platform, possibly the gaming platform Twitch, when she was around 11 or 12 years old. So it's being speculated by all authorities, you know, on all sides, that she was likely dead for quite a while, before she was found. So given the fact that she was found on the day after her what would have been 15th birthday, leads pretty much everybody to agree that she lost her life. She became no longer among the living when she was 14. So the AI on Google is saying that she likely, look, reports from her former teacher and family sources, so these are two different sources, one is the teacher, one is the family, suggest that David and Celeste's initial contact occurred on an online platform, possibly the gaming platform Twitch. When she was around 11 or 12 years old, according to her former teacher, Rivas first ran away from home in early 2024 to meet David in Los Angeles after connecting with him online. Police located her in Hollywood at the time and returned her to her family. Okay, so they met on social media, according to news reports. Here's a News Nation Now report. Dismembered teen girl 15 met David on social media, alleged former teacher says. So that kind of ended up, leading me on somewhat of a wild or even maybe perhaps slightly domesticated goose chase. And I end up on this article right here, that's Rolling Stone. Well, this one's from quite a while ago. This one is from over 2 years ago. November 21st, 2023. Meet the gamer who caught SZA's ear. Okay, wait, hold on. All right, meet the gamer. Again, this is like him being introduced. Now, this is Rolling Stone, which I have reason to believe is like a Diddy-fied, Lou Taylor-fied shill magazine. But girl, what do I know? Maybe they're the only people out here doing some type of honest reporting, girl. I don't know. But it's characterizing David at this time as a gamer. He went from making music to soundtrack. He went from making music to soundtrack his Fortnite videos to opening for the SOS tour. Okay, by Megan Jordan. Okay, or is it Megan? I don't know. So, Fortnite. Let's start there. Okay, because over here it's like, oh, maybe they met on Twitch. I saw another little AI. I'm not gonna keep, filling with it right now live because I don't have time, frankly. But another little version of these AI, like when I typed in like where did David meet Celeste or where did Celeste and David meet or whatever, one of them speculated was Discord. Okay, so Discord, and then here's Twitch. But really, he started out as a Fortnite gamer. And I did make a BJ Investigates on this. That was another one that was like a lot of work. A lot of work and hours went into that video. But, of course, I still wasn't obviously able to... I wasn't obviously able to read every single article. I don't know, I might have read this one, and it just wasn't really, like, clicking in the same way it's now clicking, because that was a few months ago. Somebody's saying that David's dad is a litigation consultant. I would like to know some more about that, if that's, true. Where did that... I mean, I don't think you like making stuff up, Flojo, but I just, I want to know, like, where's that information coming from on the link? That would be very interesting. That'd be very interesting. If he was a litigation and very useful for David, if his dad is, his name is Dald. That's interesting. Okay, so anyway, all right, so he's being characterized as a gamer, and he was a Fortnite gamer. Now, in my video that I made about David, I did get into his origin story. I mean, it was kind of like most of the video was like trying to trace back who is this David guy and where did he get his origins. Well, now I'm finding myself asking the question, of course, obviously, which a lot of people have asked, like, what exactly can we pinpoint the origins of the David meeting Celeste origin story? I've heard a lot of rumors. I've seen a lot of evidence that appears to show that they were in each other's lives for at least a year, but could it have started as early as 11 years old, like is being reported by the AI? Could their friendship have started even as early as when she was 10 years old? Could it have gone back all the way to David's Fortnite days? I'm sure someone has said somewhere exactly, but like I'm kind of like trying to like sort through what all the different, like, okay, so we got what Twitch is speculated, social media is speculated. He was a Fortnite streamer. He was also a YouTuber. He had YouTube videos. So at what point in his development as a social media personality turned music industry?
With 50 to 60% off everything online at Old Navy, we've invited the abominable snow monster to give us his take.
Whatever, I mean, performer, whatever, an artist, music, like a traditional mainstream artist signed to Interscope Records. Did he meet Celeste? I've seen a lot of pictures of, supposedly Celeste at concerts, behind the curtain, backstage at concerts, in the mirror of the, holding the camera and stuff like that. I even have started going frame by frame through some of David's old music videos because, like, he does this thing, especially in the One More Dance, video where at the beginning it's like flashing, like every frame or every couple frames it's like flashing a different image. And I think I may have isolated another flash frame image of Celeste in with the camera. Now, please do not take my word for that. Obviously, I'm not providing you with any evidence. I'm saying I think. And I was doing that just right before I got on this live stream. So I want to keep doing that before I like actually present anything. Because there's also a sort of like Celeste lookalike in that video. So it could just be her. And, you know, I mean, a lot, like a million billion people or whatever have like curly hair like that. So I need to look more closely. But I'm really just kind of digging into like, when did they meet? Where did they meet? Was it when she's 10? Was it when she's 14? Was it when she's 12? Was she 13? Where? On what platform? What social media? I just am curious. Okay, so I found this article, this Rolling Stone article today. I don't know. Like I said, I might have read it before, but if I did, I don't remember it. So he was a gamer, caught the ear of SZA. David went from making music to soundtrack his Fortnite videos, all the way to opening for the SOS tour. And then this is one of those pictures that I said it kind of is like, I haven't seen this set of pictures. It's like, maybe it's just because the news has been slow and like this is just like these old articles are showing up now or something. But so then there's this quote of David right under that picture. It says, "When I'm going to the next chapter," and this is 2 years ago, November 2022. "When I'm going to the next chapter," November 2023. "When I'm going to the next chapter, quote, I want to leave something that marks this era for my fans." Okay. The start of David's musical career happened unintentionally. That's not true. He intentionally started the music career because he was getting copyright strikes. But maybe, you know, it's just a misleading, ambiguous way to say it. But it started in his little sister's closet. Growing up, he was an avid anime watcher and gamer. Okay, growing up, he was an avid anime watcher and gamer. And he had been trying to monetize his mastery of Fortnite on YouTube. The only problem, his gaming videos were consistently flagged for music copyright issues. So Universal Music kept copyright striking his videos. So he's trying to play his little Fortnite videos for the YouTube and, you know, put his little edits together. And, you know, Universal Music did not want him to be great. They said, It's interesting now because that is exactly who will copyright your music video. That's exactly who will copyright your content if you play so much as a few seconds of one of the David videos, even the ones that he made before he was signed, the songs he made before he was signed. Universal Music now copyrights those. So it's like they came back around and they got him anyway. Anyway, during this time he was frustrated. He turned to his mom for advice. She suggested making his own music. In January 2022, he took his phone to his sister's closet because it had the best acoustic sound in the house and recorded a song called You and I to feature on his game footage. It was the second song he ever recorded in his life. The first was an indie song called Runaway. Runaway, all one word, so that's a noun. When it's all one word, runaway is a noun. You're talking about an individual, person, place, or thing. To run away, the verb would be two words, run and away, with a space in the middle. Don't argue with my English degree. Okay. So anyway, as he was finding his sound, he makes a song about a runaway. It blew up on the Fortnite scene and got top 50 indie on SoundCloud. Hold on, where did it blow up? The Fortnite scene. Hold up. Hold up. I don't care how long it takes, as long as I got you right here with me. Yeah, I gotta do the David voice. So this is like a depressing emo, you know, sad boy song or whatever. And that's fine. I know, like, you know, a lot of people love that song. That's fine. You're allowed to love it and all that. But Fortnite is a game. Like, I think for kids. So that's just something to keep in mind. Thank you, Flo Joe. Sent me the article. Thanks so much. So it blew up on this children's video game scene. And now at the time, y'all, just to be fair, David was likely a child at this time as well. I think right now, today, he's 20. So this would have been, yeah, he would have been a minor himself at this time. So I'm not saying like it's wrong for him to be playing Fortnite, but it's just kind of like, David was presented to the public like as an adult romantic artist, like romantic homicide. Now, just to be clear, I wasn't keeping up with him. I wasn't checking for him. And if anybody would ask me any of those songs, I would have said maybe I heard it before, you know, on a TikTok or something. I wasn't listening to the songs. I wasn't a fan. It wasn't coming across my radar, but that's because I'm in my auntie era and I'm no longer in the target demographic for the new songs. So it's just interesting that he's presented, in my opinion, it's interesting. He's presented like he's an adult. You know, this romantic homicide and the dragging the bodies and the blood on the shirt and the Itami and all this, like, you know, tortured artist stuff. And it's kind of like, oh, but you were, you know, just a kid and you were blowing up on Fortnite. It's a Fortnite. It's a children's artist. That's weird to me. I don't know. It's just sitting different. It's hitting different and sitting different today than usual. I don't know why. So also he blew up on, you know, SoundCloud. All my Fortnite friends started using the song and it circulated on Twitter and then YouTube and then it just went crazy. In a short amount of time, the 18-year-old artist, so by the time this article got written, this was 2020, he was 18 years old. He had won more than 24 million listeners on Spotify with releases like his latest EP, this was 2 years ago, The Lost Petals. He recently got off the road opening for SZA on her SOS tour. Still, his phone is very much part of his production process, a home, if you will, for his musical ideas. He said, I'm back and forth between my phone and the studio. You get two different sides of me wherever I'm recording. Okay, girl, tell me about your alters, Tommy and David. Got it. You'd never guess that he's someone who just began creating music a little over 2 years ago. Or someone who just began listening to different genres outside of gospel music in 2016. So they want to let you know, this was a sheltered gospel music listening household, and now they got him romantic homiciding and lost pedaling. You know what I mean? For the first half of his life, he grew up in Queens, New York, where his mom made him join the church choir at the age of 7. He remembers singing a lot of Marvin Sapp songs like Perfect Peace, but he was only in the choir for about 5 months before he dropped out. So he's a quitter. He's a quitter. Then he joined again at age 13 and dropped out again. So not a team player and a quitter. Those experiences, along with listening at home to artists like Kirk Franklin and CeCe Winans, those were his first encounter with music. Okay, so his first encounter with music is singing in the church choir for 5 months and then for some time later. And Kirk Franklin and CeCe Winans, put some respect on their name. This is like gospel music royalty right here. If you're not familiar with Kirk Franklin, Do You Want a Revolution? Woot woot. No crying. No lying. What is it? No crime and no lie. No crime and no lying. No crime, no lying. Politicians. No crying, no dying. Politicians lying. Everybody's trying to make a dollar. That made me want to holler. Oh my God, I love Kirk Franklin. And CeCe Winans too. What does she sing? The room grew still. Don't get me started. Okay, so following his 8th grade year. So I wasn't able to exactly pinpoint before, like exactly when he got pulled out of his public school and put into his, when he got pulled out of his Christian school and put into the private school. I know. Ooh. Okay, anyway, so I kind of did wonder though, was he kind of acting a little crazy? Was he acting a little out of pocket? Did his parents have to pull him out of that school because he was bringing, Gucci Man? It's like, what was the one who was saying Gucci Man? Like, I think it was that. What was the song? Anyway, y'all got to go watch I make these videos and then I forget stuff. But anyway, I was kind of wondering, like, was he getting in trouble at school? Like, was he like corrupting the other children because of what he was doing on the online? I've just been wondering, like, was he a trouble child? Gucci gang. Yeah, that's what it was. He said in a song he was a bullied. Okay. But look, we get some more information on that here. Following his 8th grade year, his parents decided to move to Houston, where his mother would homeschool him. I was terrible, he said, when I was in public school. Oh, that's what it was. He started in the public school and then they pulled him out and put him into homeschool. I thought he went to Christian school. So I guess he went to public school in New York and then he got pulled out of the public school. He said, I was terrible there because I had problems paying attention. My parents wanted a more crafted curriculum to be more career focused, and I wanted to be an engineer. And I'm wondering, did he want to be an engineer because he wanted to be a Roblox game developer? I mean, that's what I'm wondering. He said, I learned how to build computers. I learned how to code C++ and a little bit of Java. But the engineering plan only lasted a few months as well. This child is a quitter. Or, man, I guess now. Everything that I really been put onto, I gave up in the first 4 or 5 months, except music, because I'm still doing it. Okay, well, that was like, he's been doing it for 2 years. I mean, it really wasn't that long. David's 2022 breakout song, Romantic Homicide, first got notoriety on TikTok. To date, the song has more than 830 million streams on Spotify. And it hit the Billboard Hot 100 chart. It was initially a song he almost didn't release. He said, when I made Romantic Homicide, I second-guessed myself because it wasn't time. I thought I was scared. Okay, wait, hold on. This is a separate story from the one we've already gotten. We've already gotten another story about he didn't know if he wanted to release it or not, and his mom hated it, and that's how he knew he had to release it. Maybe they get there. Let's see. Romantic Homicide, he said, I second-guessed myself because it wasn't time. I thought I was scared of what the opinions would be from it. But I've learned not to rush into anything and to do it on my own time. Had I released it at the time I made it, it probably wouldn't have done anything because I wouldn't have been in the right mindset to promote it. And it would have been another Fortnite montage and been forgotten about in the next 2 weeks. Me not trusting that song and then coming around to it and putting it on TikTok helped me to recognize my own creative patterns. Okay. This year alone, y'all, they put him straight to work. They signed him and put him straight to work. He was on 4 tours. 4 tours in 2023. His biggest one was opening for SZA. He met her team in the spring when she was performing at Madison Square Garden. David's first time being to a concert other than his own. Okay.
With irresistibly smooth melting chocolate in every Lindor.
She then heard his music and co-signed him in an interview. Does co-sign like literally mean co-sign? Because we throw these words around like, oh yeah, I co-signed that, but like in the music industry, like what does that mean, co-sign? She co-signed him? What does that mean exactly? I need a little bit more specificity. Shortly after this co-sign in an interview, David's team received the email that he was chosen for SZA's SOS tour, second North America tour leg. I'm SZA's biggest fan. I'm super grateful to her, he said cheerfully to the Rolling Stone people. When I got the news I was locked in for the tour, I was in a recording session and I jumped up and threw my headphones and I was just going crazy. So this shows how childish, he still was at the time. Like, the girl, nothing can't, I done been through so much and seen so much shit. Can't nothing make me jump up and hoot and holler anymore. But like, when I was an immature child, and that's not even a bad thing. Like, that's cute. It's sweet to still have your optimism and stuff. Now I would just be saying like, no, I rebuke. I don't, no, thank you. I don't want to be in a room with her. No. But like, woohoo, and you're jumping and you're throwing headphones and you're so excited. It just shows the level of immaturity. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean this is kind of like the pipeline, right? Like this is what seems to happen. Remember whenever Usher's voice was changing and then they like threatened to like make him like not famous anymore, whatever. And then he had to go to Flavor Camp, Puffy Flavor Camp, and they had to fight over the Frosted Flakes, etc. And then we also saw in that video that I made of David, the David video on BJ Investigates, we also saw that he even said like he had to grow up, like he had to get thrown on tour, he had to actually have some experiences of heartbreak and whatever to kind of like have experience instead of just like writing. Like he was saying that he wrote some of these songs by thinking about Carl from Disney's movie Up. So again, it kind of shows the childish nature. She pushed, I mean, I know what cosign means in the colloquial. I do know that that's what cosign means. Safe to say Sephiroth. I do know that's what cosign means. Like, oh yeah, like she co-signed it by, you know, interviewing him or whatever. Like, cosign means also like it's a financial transaction or like, you know, guaranteeing something. So it's just interesting that like in the music industry where you are signing contracts and stuff, they wouldn't be a little more specific. Like I do know what y'all, I mean, please. I'm like, I might be a little bit like, you know, square-ish, but like I know what cosign means. I'm just saying, like in this particular case, is that what they really mean? Or is it like SZA like actually had to take some type of responsibility by co-signing something? I don't put anything past these people, but they also stupid and they just throw words around too. So I mean, who knows? It was Carl from Up for Real. That's what he said anyway. Okay, so tour life has been a pleasant experience for David, who brings along his family. And this is where people started to say, wait, he brings his family along? His little sister, his mama, and all them. So if Celeste was ever on that SZA tour, then his parents and his sister and brother would have probably seen her. So that's interesting. But anyway, many fans show up in white shirts. So the fans were dressing like E. Tommy, okay, the murderous cult leader. Many fans show up in white shirts with red paint that resembles blood. A piece of expression that reflects David's love for anime. Does it really? Okay. While symbolically representing the theme behind the Lost Petals. The 5-track EP is like a poetry exercise with diverse guitar styles. This was supposed to be an album, and the record company did not like it. So they called it an EP and said, go back, try again. More murder, more occult symbolism. Okay, so then they go through some of the songs. He writes on his phone. He touches on themes of love amidst being broken. His career is growing quickly and he can't wait to bring listeners for the ride. I'm a gamer, he says. So I'm going to talk in video game terms. Okay, nerd. It's a DLC pack. Downloadable content. Like, okay. Like, it's cute if you're, 14, but like that. Who talks like this? It's kids. And he was kind of a kid himself. Like, now he's a grown man. Like, there's no excuse. I mean, he's still young, of course. But, like, he says, I talk like it's video game. It's a DLC pack. Downloadable content. It's an expansion of the first project. Yeah, the first record he tried to write, and then they scrapped that too. So that got to be an EP. And then he tried to write another record. And they were like, no, that sucks. We're going to EP that too. Until he finally got this one that was, like, good enough. Withered. I want to finish off the story, he said. I'm going to the next, and when I'm going to the next chapter, I want to leave something that marks this era for my fans. Okay, so there's another thing I want to show y'all too, because this loops into this whole Fortnite thing. And remember, like, he said that he was one of the first people to ever play Fortnite. Ever. He was one of the first people to ever play Fortnite. Now I want to find this David Fortnite music video. Okay. It's called Locked and Loaded.
At Wells Fargo, we get it. Carlo started his business to obsess over things like basting. Butter basting.
Oh, shoot. It's called Locked and Loaded. And here is the thumbnail image. Okay, so here's the music video. David, Locked and Loaded. Official Fortnite anthem. He was allowed eventually to write the official Fortnite anthem. He was one of the first people to ever play Fortnite. His songs are talking about things as if it's a DLC pack. And he starts playing Fortnite as a kid. He's so bad in school he can't pay attention. And he's got Itami, the murderous cult leader, in the video. And again, y'all, I'm not gonna be able to play it. I will pull it up and just kind of scrub through. And it's like a video. It's obviously like a video. What, this girl done crapped herself here, or what? Was it a shadow? They're jumping out of a bus. It's the official Fortnite anthem. It was uploaded just a couple days before Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body was found. It was uploaded September 3rd, 2025. September 7th, 2025 would have been Celeste's 15th birthday. September 6th is when it got towed over there. September 4th, my birthday, shout out to me, they had taken a picture or something of this car. September 8th, Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body was found, and about by the 12th or the 15th or so, a week or so later, she was identified. So he's not only like, you know, is he being characterized as a gamer, the gamer who caught SZA's ear, but he's making the official Fortnite. I don't know who these kids are. The official Fortnite music video. Like David and Fortnite, it's on both official channels, and it was uploaded just a few days before Celeste's body was found. Add that together with the fact that he met her on social media. It's almost like this weird, you know, they do this a lot, like with Britney Spears. Remember her first song that came out was like, hit me baby one more time. No, that was the second one. What was the first one? Hit me baby one more time? Or, yeah, I think that was it. Oh, baby, baby. Wasn't that the first one? And then after that it was Toxic. I don't remember. But they they start these kids out like, oh, look at this little gamer. Look at this little girl from Louisiana. And then before you know it, this industry drags them into something else. But all the kids that immediately were so interested in these people are still following along. And in Britney's case, the kids turned into adults, and we saw that she was being abused. Yeah. So we had to free her. But, I don't know. It's just very interesting to me. Like, look at this. The official Fortnite anthem for the whole year. And it was only just uploaded in September. It seemed like if something was going to be the anthem for the whole year, y'all would have uploaded it last year, or at the very least in, you know, January, February. But is that whenever Celeste was being, I was not going to say sacrificed. Rest in peace to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. You know what I mean? This is for kids. I mean, this is a cartoon for kids, but the themes themselves, like if you actually follow David and you actually went to his Instagram and stuff, then you would see him like kind of being grotesque. Like, you know, I don't know. It's just like kind of. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about that today.
My energy bill dropped from $150 to $50 by doing this. My friends laughed at me when I spent $49.
I wanted to talk about that today. Shout out to Des Rose Marie 44 because I wanted to. Oh, it's Drive Me Crazy. No, that wasn't the first one. That definitely wasn't the first one. But that one made it come later. And then after that, yeah, it was like Lucky. And then before you know it, it's Sometimes. And then before you know it, it's Every Time. And, you know, Britney's being, you know, demonized and everything in the media. I want to talk about that today because it plays into a much larger theme. One of the reasons why I care so much about this story is that I really am very concerned about protecting children, especially in particular, you know, the children of the people that follow me, which is mostly Americans, you know, American children. These are American artists. They're pushing onto our children, but this is global too. I mean, kids all over the world play Fortnite, I'm sure. Kids all over the world play Roblox. I know it. It's the most, I think it's the most visited website for children in the world. Roblox. There are over 150 million children, over 150 million users every day on Roblox. Daily. Unique users. 150 million every day using Roblox. That's what's been reported. And that's different than Fortnite. It's a totally different thing than Fortnite. But I want to go kind of one by one and show y'all all the different ways that your children are being groomed and targeted. Now, David is innocent until proven guilty. He hasn't even been named by the LAPD in any capacity, like as a suspect, but it has been reported he is a suspect. Stay where you are right now, and you are going to be led over to that video. TGF said a gamer in my community just got charged with a lot of deplorable crimes against kids the other day, and they believe there is more gonna come, and they're urging parents to check the messages. See, y'all, we have got to stay on top of these things. So yes, sit right here. I'll be in the live chat. I worked really hard on this video. Please, if you don't mind, come over to that video, click the like and chat in the live chat and all that, because I really think it's a very important message. Stay where you are. You will be redirected. If you are not redirected, just go over to BJ Investigates and I will be in there. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Neither are opinions. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. I don't know any of these people. I wasn't there. Protect your children. Love you, mean it. Bye.
Wow.
Old Navy presents.
Hello friends, how are you today? I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. My name is Bailey Sarian and today is Monday, which means it's Murder, Mystery, and Makeup Monday. If you are new here, hi. My leggings are falling down. My name is Bailey Sarian, and on Mondays I sit down and I talk about a true crime story that's been heavy on my noggin, and I do my makeup at the same time. If you're interested in true crime and you like makeup, I highly suggest you hit that subscribe button because I'm here for you on Mondays. This sweater feels like it's choking me. You know when that happens? It's like... So I redid my background trying to go for like a Christmas vibe. Oh, I also have like another light on me, and I don't know if it's like too much light. I don't know. I'm feeling insecure, like I'm very lit up. Anyways, a big thank you to all of those who participated in my giveaway last week. Wish I could give all of you something. Here's a video. I would announce who the winner is, but hear me out really quick. I've done giveaways before, okay, in the past. And here's what happens. If I announce who the winner is, then people make fake email addresses with that person's name, and then they email me and they're like, I'm the winner. And then it turns out they're not the winner, and you get scammed. Yeah, it's happened before. And it's not cool. So I just don't want to say anything yet. I am waiting for her to respond because she hasn't responded yet. If she doesn't respond in the next, like a couple more hours, then I'm just going to move on and choose somebody else. But yeah, thank you guys so much for participating in my giveaway. Before we jump into today's story, we do have a sponsor. I filmed it the other day because I'm actually changing the video of today's topic last minute. You know, sometimes I'll be doing a story, you know, I want an answer to something, and I just need more time to like find that answer. So I felt like there was a lot of unanswered questions, and I was like, I should just do a different story instead. So I filmed this, whatever, you get it. Before we jump into today's story, we do have a sponsor, Hunt a Killer. Hunt a Killer, if you do not know, is a murder mystery subscription box where you get to test your detective skills from the comfort of your own sofa. I was gonna say home, but I feel like that was predictable. Sofa. With each Hunt a Killer box, you get to decode ciphers, examine clues, and solve puzzles. You'll go through documents, evidence, audio recordings, and case files, eliminating suspects and identifying murder weapons until you solve the case and catch the killer. Oh, it's a real hoot. You just watch a story unfold as you complete each episode, aka box. I'm sure a lot of you are aware that the sun has been going down at like 4 p.m. And you're like, thanks. We're spending more time inside. So bust out Hunt a Killer. Play alone. Play with your friends over Zoom. Play with your family. Play with your pet. Hunt a Killer would also make a great gift for the true crime fan in your life. And if you order by December 15th, it will get to your mailbox before Christmas. It's a cute little idea. If you're looking for a new game that gets your noggin going, go to huntakiller.com/Sarian and use code Sarian for 20% off your first box. That's right, baby. Go to huntakiller.com/Sarian and use code Sarian for 20% off or a 20% discount. A big thank you to Hunt a Killer for partnering with me on today's video and for partnering with me all throughout this year. Wow, I can't believe we're in December. This is wild. Also, one more thing before we jump into today's story. Some of you may remember when I did a collab with Loud Lacquer nail polishes. I got the opportunity to create 4 nail polish shades for the Aqua Tofana collection. We had Belladonna, Julia, Antidote, and Saint. And last year we did 4 nail polishes for the Murder Mystery Makeup collection. Right now I'm wearing Red Rum on my nubs. I love this color, it's my favorite. Well, I just wanted to pass the word that the Loud Lacquer polishes are back in stock. You can buy them individually or in the bundles. You can find Loud Lacquer polishes on loudlacquer.com. Yes, I just wanted to pass the word because I did see some of you asking about them. I feel so ugly. I'm not selling the dream here with my ugly hair. Selling the dream. So, warning. The following presentation is intended for mature audiences. It contains graphic descriptions of crime scenes, adult dialogue, and strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Rose Larner and what happened to her, and it's wild. It's weird. Rose Larner was the second of 3 children to the Larner family who lived in Lansing, Michigan. When Rose was 4, her parents decided it was best to get a divorce and the couple separated, so she would spend time in between both families' house. In school, it was said that Rose did pretty well. She got straight A's and did really well when it came to like the grade school spelling bee. In 1993, Rose was 18 years old, and a lot of her friends and family would call her a vampire, or like as a joke. It was because she would stay up all night talking on the phone, or she would be out with her friends at night just roaming around the streets. So everyone kind of called her the vampire. Her family would say that Rose was going through her angry teenage years. As hyperactive, go all
Hi,
the
Sam.
time. And the only time she would slow down was really to sleep. It
You
was said that she
a-hole,
would
I almost
take 3
peed.
showers a day, hog the home phone, catch up with her friends. She sounds like an average teenager, besides the 3 showers thing. I don't know about that. She was very big-hearted, a bit of a pain, but craved attention and acceptance as many do in their teenage years. Her mother said in an interview that if Rose were ever kidnapped and being held for ransom, the kidnappers, quote, would pay me to take her back, end quote. Rose's former stepmother, she said that, quote, Rose wasn't every mother's dream, but she was generous, and if you needed anything, she was there, end quote. I mean, like, at least they didn't sugarcoat anything. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I was like, dang, okay. And overall, I mean, based off of what I was reading, I don't know her, she seemed like a really great person, just going through, like, the angry teenage years, is what I was kind of understanding. Rose would spend most of her free time on the phone talking with her friends. One of those friends that she was always talking to was a guy named Billy Brown, and they both met when they were in like 5th grade. After school, they would play tag, they would build forts, they would play in the woods around the area, and just were always together. By 8th grade, their friendship was pretty firm, and you wouldn't find one without the other. Another friend of Rose's was a girl named Bailey. I'm always shocked when I hear about another Bailey who isn't a dog. You know, there's a lot of people who name their dogs Bailey for some reason. Anyways, doesn't matter. So Rose and Bailey met in 3rd grade, and they were also very close. Hang out all the time after school. They'd walk around town together looking for things to do. Bailey said that they would get into a fight at least once a week. A couple days passed, they would get over it and hang out like nothing. Bailey and Rose also shared the same birthday, August 19th. Anytime Bailey spent the night at Rose's house, they would sneak out, okay? And they would walk around the neighborhood looking for friends to hang out with or just something to do. Rose, though, she did have her enemies, okay? Some would say that she had a pretty bad mouth and an even worse attitude. She didn't care what she said or who she said it to. When Rose was like left in charge because her parents were out of town, she decided to like throw a little shindig where, whoa, this is super yellow. She invited some people to come over to the house and hang out, you know, throw a little party. Parents are gone, let's party. So she had her friends come over. They drank some alcohol. And when some girls who were uninvited showed up, Rose was the one who would stand up and start some shit, you know? When Rose was 15 or 16 years old, her mom actually, I guess she exaggerated her daughter's attitude a bit, so she could admit her to the Rivendell Psychiatric Hospital in St. John's. Rose's mom, first of all, her name is also Rose, so I'm just gonna call her Rose's mom. Rose's mom was hoping that it would help calm Rose down a bit and like bring some peace to the turbulent household. Because back at home, Rose was fighting with her brothers a lot. She was throwing things at them. She'd be locking them out of the house. It's like 30 degrees outside, you know, and the kids would have to break a window, break into the house. It was just kind of like there was always chaos and fighting going on. Her mother felt like she just couldn't get through to Rose, so she went to this psychiatric hospital to get some help, and her mom was working two jobs.
Balls!
1120 raided your channel with
Fucking nanner!
Arrived, Rose was a little upset, to say the least, because she
You
didn't know
butt!
she was going there.
Thank
And she
you,
would
you
end up
supportive
agreeing
little
to
poot.
stay. So after the 3 months, though, she actually had
Jesus.
really grown to like it. She was receiving ongoing
Making me
counseling
throw
from
diamond dots
friends,
everywhere.
and just overall, like the
Jesus.
individual attention and
Hi,
recognition she
babies.
was receiving from the doctors and staff. And most of all, like she felt safe.
Nana
there. But once the
1120
3
followed
months
your
had
channel.
passed, it was now time for her to go back home. And it was said that she was very upset. She didn't want to go home. She's like made all these new friends and stuff, and she found a little love interest and just didn't want to leave, but she had to. Soon after leaving, that's when Rose got her first job working at KFC. During this time, her mother said that she noticed a really big difference in her attitude, and it wasn't good. Her mom personally believed that Rose wanted to be sent back to the psychiatric hospital. Rose, at this time, she was skipping school. She was arrested for shoplifting. She would bring alcohol to school. Things seemed to just be getting worse. One day, Rose and Bailey decided to hang out and go down and play basketball. They like to shoot, woohoo, what's it called? Shoot hoops. But yeah, they decided to hang out and then go play basketball. And that's when a man came and he hung out near the tennis courts, which was and he seemed interested in them and was watching them. Eventually, he approached Rose and Bailey and started chatting with the two of them. Him and Rose seemed to hit it off right off the bat, and at some point Bailey felt just out of place. Rose was more interested in talking with this guy and wasn't so much into hanging out with her anymore, so Bailey just decided to walk home. Later that night though, Rose ended up at Bailey's house, okay? She knocks on the door, it's kind of late, and Bailey answers his door, and she notices that Rose seems to be very shaken up. She's crying, she's just having a hard time talking, and that's when Rose told Bailey that the guy from the park ended up sadly raping her. Yeah, they called police. The man ended up pleading guilty to a lesser charge and spent only a month in jail. We can end there. That's pretty shitty. She tried to just move forward like it never happened, which is just really sad. And I know some of you are going to be thinking oh, well, why did Bailey... Yeah, Bailey, why did she leave Rose at the park with this guy by herself? You know, they were teenagers. She wasn't thinking. So let me just add that little disclaimer. If you're hanging out with a friend and a stranger approaches you guys, yeah, don't leave your friend. Don't leave your friend. So at 16, Rose ended up dropping out of high school, but she did end up getting her GED when she was 17. So summer rolls around, and she was just ready for some freedom again. She just got her GED. She's just ready to have some fun. So Rose's mother decided, okay, let's set a curfew for you. So curfew was 1 a.m. and she also gave her a pager to keep in touch if she needed anything. But this summer, Rose ended up meeting a local rapper named John Cahoe. I think that's how you say it. Rose's older brother remembered that she really liked him, and she would talk about him like he was a god. She was like, oh my god, this rapper, he's just yay. I do not miss being a teenager. It's easy to fall for these things for some weird reason. And then you get older and you look back and you're like, God, why? Why was I obsessed with this person? She wanted to do whatever he wanted to do. He was a little bit older, and Rose really liked John, and John seemed to really like her. So they just, began to date. So Rose, her best friend Billy, and John, they would all hang out together, and they would mostly hang out at Billy's house. In October, Rose asked her mom if John could move in with them because he needed a place to stay. At first, her mom was like, I don't like this idea, okay, no. But Rose is 18, and she thought she was an adult, and she pushed back. And eventually her mom gave in and allowed John to move in and stay with them. Her mom actually thought that John was really nice, and she didn't mind having him around. That is, until she walked into Rose's room, and she saw a bunch of guns laying out, and there was wads upon wads of cash. Yeah, allegedly, I don't know. Yeah, allegedly, John was making all of his money, or most of his money, as a drug dealer. So as any parent would, she kicked him out of the house. And this was the beginning of the downfall, because when John was kicked out of the house, that's when he started to distance himself from Rose and their just relationship in general. John was no longer calling Rose up, giving her any time of day, and essentially just like ghosted her, or was trying to. Rose was deeply upset by this. John was dodging her and she knew it. So John was ignoring her. And this seemed to just fuel her fire, okay? The more he ignored her, the more passionate she got at getting his attention. In November, there was like a party going down, and it seemed like all the kids from the town were going to it. And Rose knew that John was there, so she showed up. Some kind of argument went down, and Rose ended up ramming her van into John's truck. John told Rose, if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to kill you. But Rose wanted answers, okay? And she couldn't seem to stop. December 6, 1993. Rose, she worked a night shift at her job, and she ended up getting home around 11:30 p.m. Rose went straight to the dining area, and she called a friend on the house phone. And her brother, who was sleeping on the couch, remembers Rose getting into a small argument with whoever she was talking to on the phone. He had no idea what it was about or who she was even talking to. After Rose hung up the phone, she told her brother that she loved him, and she headed out. It was like 30 degrees outside, but that didn't stop Rose from walking down the street to the convenience store that her mom worked at. So around 1:30 in the morning, Rose shows up at her mom's work. Her mom said that she knew something was off. Like, she seemed upset, but it was late and it was cold, so she insisted that Rose take the family van instead of walking around that night. Rose pushed back and insisted, like, I'm fine, I'm just gonna like hang out with some friends tonight, don't worry about me. So she told her mom that she loved her, and then she left to go hang out with friends. So the next morning at around 8 a.m., Rose's mom, she just had like this weird gut feeling that something wasn't right. Rose was not home, and that feeling was really heavy. So she ends up calling up the local police detective. She's telling him that Rose is missing. Her mom didn't have any details to give other than her gut feeling was telling her something was terribly wrong, and that mothers they just know. So about a day goes by and there's still no Rose. Her mom was driving around the streets where she would hang out normally with her friends. Nothing. She called Billy Brown, remember her friend, and she learned that he wasn't home either. So instantly she's thinking, okay, Rose must be with him because like they're always together, so she's probably with him. She told Billy's mom, I believe it was, hey, can you like have him call me once he gets home, or ask him like if he's been with Rose at all? And she says, okay, and then that's it. A day goes by. Billy ends up calling up Rose's mom to tell her that he hadn't seen her in a couple of days and that he had no idea where she was. Friends who had normally talked to Rose daily had heard from her since December 7th. And again, Rose was on the phone all the time and in contact with her friends nonstop. So her mother had that feeling that she was gone and would most likely never see her again. Helicopters searched the area. Police searched all over on foot. Nothing ever seemed to come up. So police asked for help from the community. Like, if they have any information, please come forward, send tips, something. So tips started to roll in. Okay. Someone thought to have seen her at a local mall. Someone else heard that she was beaten to death with a baseball bat. Another caller said that Rose was in the river. More tips kept coming, and over 100 of them had mentioned two names: Billy Brown and John Kehoe. Kehoe? I don't know. So those names kept coming up. Nobody seemed to have real proof other than they heard at a party or from a friend that those two were involved.
I know Kehoe's.
Billy Brown ended up being brought in for questioning. He kept saying that he had nothing to do with it. He didn't know what to tell them because he had no idea where Rose was. Investigators said that they had talked to him enough times to know that they were talking to someone who was involved somehow. I mean, it was obvious to them that he was lying, but he also wasn't cracking, so they had nothing like on him. So the months just keep going by, and there were still many searches going on by air, foot. They were searching all the local water areas that they could as well. And again, nothing was ever turning up. I poked myself in the eye. So then in April 1996, guess who called up detectives? Well, it was Billy Brown, of course. So he calls up detectives and he's like, hey, can you talk? There's not going to be that much makeup going on right now because nothing seems to be going smoothly. That's probably for the better. So Billy said the night that Rose disappeared, that night involved drugs, sex, murder, and body parts inside the home of John, the previous boyfriends, John's grandparents' house. So Billy told them that they drove out to John's brother's house, his name's Tim, and they hung out there to lay low. So Billy, who was now 20, said that he was not the one who killed Rose, John was. So warrants quickly followed, charging Billy and John's brother Tim with being accessories to murder, and John being the one who was actually charged with murder. John, though, he seemed to get word that a warrant was issued for his arrest, and he fled. Police went out to the house that Billy was talking about. It was John's grandparents' house. Inside the bathroom, crime lab experts found a single drop of blood that later, through DNA testing, would confirm that it was indeed from Rose. Oh, yes, baby. Oh, yes. 3 years later, a little speck of blood inside of the bathroom linked,
Fortnite Chapter 7 is I think there's something unique about this chapter that we haven't seen in Fortnite in
So police continued to search for John and his brother Tim. They were able to determine that they fled to Mexico. So investigators in Mexico located Tim, and they did like a little stakeout waiting for him to lead them to John, which he does. And in 1996, Mexican authorities arrested John and Tim and sent them back to Lansing, Michigan. According to Billy Brown, here's what happened exactly that night. Buckle in, kitty cats, because it's horrible. Horrible. On December 7th, 1993, Rose called up Billy and asked him to get a hold of John to see if they could all hang out and smoke some weed, have some sex, and do some average party things, I guess. At some point, John picks up Rose and Billy around 3 a.m. After driving around for a bit, John pulls over on a dark road. Him and Rose have sex in his truck while she rested her head on Billy's lap. I'm not sure, but it's according to Billy what happened. So once they left there, they stopped at a store that was on the way to John's grandparents' house, okay? So John tells the crew, like, hey, I just want to run inside really quick, grab some things for tonight's festivities. Billy said he later learned that the bag contained a fillet knife, 2 bottles of charcoal lighter fluid, a hatchet, and some trash bags. I feel like grocery stores, for at least like the Checkers, they need to have like a panic button. So when people are buying some really shady looking items, they could push the panic button, red flag it. I don't know what the button would do yet. I haven't thought that far ahead, but I think it would be a great idea. So the 3 of them drive out to John's grandparents' house. They were away at the time. So when they get there, John had busted out his supply of marijuana and cocaine. Billy said that Rose and John had sex again, and then all 3 of them decided to take a shower together. I think they were trying to have a threesome or something. I'm not sure. I guess it really doesn't matter because they take a shower together. And then all 3 got dressed in the bathroom, and John stepped out for a second while Rose and Billy brushed their wet hair from the shower, you know? So John comes back into the bathroom, and he's holding a cord. Yes, he's holding a cord, and he slips it around Rose's neck. Now, Billy said that Rose started laughing because she thought that John was just like playing around until he pulled the cord tighter. So Rose ends up falling to the ground, gasping for air, and the only time Billy stepped in was to ask John why he was killing her, and John said, quote, "That bitch has got to go, and that's what's going to happen," end quote. Minutes later, Rose was dead on the bathroom floor. Once he knew that she was dead, John picked her up and put her in the bathtub where he grabbed his knife and cut her throat. After doing this, John and Billy did some cocaine together, and then John returned to the bathroom to do some more business. He grabbed a hatchet and a block of wood and began to cut up Rose. Like no nice way to say that, you know? He started with her arms, then cut her feet and hands, and then he came back out of the bathroom with a foot sticking on a knife, holding it up for Billy to see. John then put her body parts into the basement fireplace, burning them until they were just cinders. Afterwards, they cleaned up the house, put the remaining body in a trash can, grabbed some shovels, a trash bag, 10 gallons of gasoline, and left. Billy and John drove about 100 miles to Billy's family property. It was far away and it was pretty secluded, and they wanted to burn what was left of her body until there was nothing left. John and Billy dug a hole in the ground and laid a bed of logs in the pit. They unloaded Rose's midsection onto the pit and poured gasoline all over it and lighted a fire. They burned what was left of Rose's body for about 10 hours. Billy said that at one point, John took some of her burned flesh from the pit, put it on a piece of bread with some mustard, and ate it. He said it was just for the experience. I just feel like when people want to experience something in life, it doesn't involve mustard and flesh. I'm always amazed when I do these stories, you know? You know what I want to experience? The Grand Canyon. I've never been before. Okay? When the fire was done, the two filled the garbage bags with Rose's ashes, and then they spread them, the ashes, along the roadside and highways all the way to Big Rapids, Michigan. This is where John's brother Tim lived, and that's where they were heading. When they got there, Tim told the boys not to worry about the gasoline, hatchet, and shovels in the car, and that he would take care of it. So they just kind of like tried to lay low a bit, but they also sat down and decided, like, okay, what's our alibi gonna be? You know, if asked by police. And they all came to the decision to say that they were at Tim's place the night Rose vanished. Billy ended up being offered a lesser sentence if he decided to testify against John in court. Several months later, during John's trial, Billy did indeed testify against him in exchange for a year in jail for being an accessory after murder. A year in jail. But John ends up taking the stand at his own trial, and he was swearing up and down just repeatedly that he did not kill Rose Larner. John claims that he is the innocent one, and the only proof they had on him was Billy Brown's testimony, but that Billy was the one who actually killed her. And when he realized that investigators were coming for him, Billy ended up getting two investigators first to set his story straight and blame John. So that was John's defense, that Billy was the one who actually did what he was saying. Does that make sense? In the end, John would end up being sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. One thing that really rubbed everybody the wrong way when they were watching this trial was that when John received his sentencing, he laughed. So it didn't help his case, you know? Earlier this year, 2020, John, who is now 45 years old, he's trying to get a new hearing to discuss his original trial. Due to COVID, though, things got put on hold. But John stands by the fact that Billy was the one who did it all, fueled by anger because Rose had rejected Billy for sex several times on the day of her death. John said that he was the one who was nothing more than accessory after the fact in Rose's murder. Billy, on the other hand, he stands by the truth, saying John was the killer and that he helped cover it up so John wouldn't try to kill him next. These arguments are expected to be a part of the new trial if the new trial is even awarded, and oddly enough, it's so weird, John has been active on social media. I believe it's his fiance who's in charge of posting for him. It's like a podcast and like a blog and Instagram. Yeah, but it's all dedicated to proving his innocence. And, you know, I looked through it and whatnot, and it's like, I was just kind of waiting for a smoking gun. And they're really, not that I could find one. It was his word against Billy's word, and Billy's word against John's word, and then the speck of blood in John's grandparents' house. Like, that's really what they have. At first, I kind of wanted to believe it, because I was like, you know what, that could be it, because Billy was like the friend, maybe he was jealous. But when John first got word that there was a warrant issued for his arrest, he tried to flee, right? So he went from Chicago to Denver to El Paso, and then he went to Mexico. And this is according to his own blog. So it's like, sir, if you're innocent, why are you running, okay? He seemed to have a lot of money. If you are innocent, why not just use all that money that you have to get a good attorney instead of running? I'm sorry, but running just doesn't help your case. It makes you look guilty. So allegedly he was making just a lot of money with his drug hustle, you know? So it's like, why not use that? I just don't get it. I just don't understand people's actions sometimes. I don't think any of us do. Either way, it's just a really sad story, right? Rest in peace to Rose Larner. And I hope her family and friends have found or find peace and happiness in life. Let me get on my soapbox really quick. I personally believe that John and Billy should be in prison for life. Because what the fuck, you guys? You didn't just kill her. You cut her up. One of you ate some of it with mustard. And I don't care if one of you didn't actually do it, you still allowed it to happen and didn't go to police until a couple years later. So you both fucked up, and you both should have been sent to prison for life, or at least for like a long time. What the fuck? I think John probably got jealous that Billy only got a year. That's probably it. He's like, oh, actually, that was me. And that, my friends, is the awful, tragic story about Rose Larner. And I would love to hear your thoughts down below. I just feel bad for Rose because when she first got, like, when she was raped, when she was at the park playing basketball, that person only got a month in prison. If Billy did do it, then he only got a year. This John guy's trying to get out too. Like, I feel bad. Poor thing. But other than that, I want to say a big thank you to you guys for hanging out with me today. Big thank you to Hunt to Killer for partnering with me on today's video. I will leave in the description box all the products I used. I'm not thrilled on this look at all, actually. It's just like, I'm so irritated. I think I'm just PMSing. Because I just want to like rip my face off. Okay.
Are we ready for this party?
Guests are on their way, and food and drinks were just delivered.
Now what about the music? It's gotta be my new one, right? Play it.
I'm a bad man. I'm a masked man. I'm not sure this is right for your niece's party. She's turning 5.
Oh, I get you.
And Wayne?
Yeah?
Should we cancel the dancers?
Let's reschedule the dancers.
What day would work for you?
Just not today. Alexa.
Essentially, they were a religious group who believed they were going to catch a ride on the Hale-Bopp comet in 1997. Now, they believed that this comet was actually a spaceship. Oh yeah, and in order to ride the spaceship, you actually had to die. Yeah, Heaven's Gate is honestly such a wild, wild story, but what a lot of people did not know was that their leader, the leader of Heaven's Gate, was a eunuch, meaning he voluntarily had himself castrated, aka his testicles